by the
of the gentleman from
people,
Ohio.
of the people,
Would it
for
surprise
the
anyone that in
people.
addition to not
But
passing
the
a
people
single
are
piece of
retarded.
legislation, he's never put a piece
It's
of
like
legislation
just
that has
the
made it
best
to a
way
committee?
to come live into a show is just
Right?
have that
Must be
go
a
play
legislator. And the
as you're
gentleman
sitting
from
there
Ohio
watching
falls short in
the
that
government
regard.
be the
He
government.
supports an extreme agenda
Oh, Squab just
and is
dropped in
hell-bent
Discord.
on banning abortion nationwide,
Did.
Yeah, he
Send him a
did.
link. Send him a
Gutting
link.
I'm
Send him a
going
link.
to.
gutting Social
Awesome.
Security,
Just get a
and
couple
giving
people
cover
in here.
to January 6th
Welcome to
attackers.
whatever this is. This is
Those aren't the values that we
a
share.
new take at
If
trying
we
to
don't see
do
a speaker
what I
elected
wanted to
in
do
this round,
during
there's going to be another
noon
candidate
hour, which is
and
to
another internal
watch
Republican
Congress,
conference
pay
vote
attention to the
and a
news,
secret ballot.
and do something a little
country
bit
can't
different. Well,
afford
be
more
in the way
delays and more chaos.
that YouTube be
15
asshole.
days should be
I just so
enough.
happen to go to the point of being needed for a few weeks and
House
haven't
Democrats
been
are
around.
united on
I
this
haven't
path
been around,
forward.
but
We're united
here's the
behind Hakeem
thing. Here's the
Jeffries.
thing. I wanted to come back
United to put
around
people over
and
politics.
start doing
United
something
to
here
lower
because I can't
costs,
just
create better
abandon
paying
the
jobs,
YouTube.
build
Can't
safer
abandon it.
communities,
Though I've
and
taken
defend
the show of
democracy.
Stick with
And
Cool
once
Frog,
again, we're coming
and I've
together
made
to
it
achieve
a
this
night
common
show.
goal, and that is to make Hakeem Jeffries Speaker
It's
of the House of
and
Representatives.
on Rumble exclusively because of the multiple times that I've been hit.
Right?
There he is.
Hi, beautifully.
It's Jimmy YouTube.
There I are.
Hi,
Hey,
Jimmy.
beautiful. What's up, dude? Good to see you.
Almost.
Good to see you
I
too.
did go through, and I
Hakeem
threw
Jeffries
some
has
links
done
at some people, and I
what we
and I
haven't
get
seen
it.
from the
if
other
some
side of the
people can't
aisle,
make it,
and
they
that
can't
is
make it.
to keep a caucus united.
To come join us and hang out
extreme MAGA
with for
Republicans
this
vowed to
episode
send our
of
country
whatever
into
this is,
devastating
as we
default.
pay attention to
It was Leader
Congress.
Jeffries
We're going to pay
who
attention
led
to
House
Congress here,
Democrats to
as
reject
I have a
the
feeling that
extremism
we're going to
and keep the
select
government open.
a Speaker of the House today. In some way, shape, or
Mr.
form.
Speaker
Now,
Pro
this
Tem, we have
guy,
the
this
vote
guy that you
totals to
see
back that
sitting
up.
right over his shoulder,
It has
or
been Leader
next to him
Jeffries
there,
and House Democrats who have shown a willingness and a conviction to keep our
you
promise
might
to
actually
deliver for
see
American families. And it will be Hakeem
become your
Jeffries
next
who will
Speaker
move
of the
our body
House.
and our country
We
forward on
don't
a
know
bipartisan path.
specifically if that's going to happen,
Who, on the
but
other
there's
side of the
potential
aisle,
of
Mr.
that
Speaker Pro
happening.
Tem,
If you
will take
listened last
yes
night on Stick
for
with
an
Cool
answer
Frog
and work with us
over
to
on
achieve
Rumble,
three
again on
common
Rumble,
goals.
every single
my
night I
colleague
still
and good
run that
friend
same
and
show that I
gentleman
had
from Oklahoma
always liked to
mentioned
run
one of
in
them.
that news and
Supporting
politics.
assistance to
You know,
Israel,
I
but
just
what he left out
I
was
want to keep
assistance
everything
to
running as
Ukraine
much
and
as
our
I
national
possibly
security
can.
objectives.
So I think they don't want to run Congress as much as I'd like to run these shows. How's it going, Vicky?
Second,
It's going
above
good.
all else, we must commit to keep this
Jimmy,
government
what
open
you up
and
to?
functioning.
What's up, dog?
All right, click jaw Jimmy. What's up, dog?
Not a lot. Not a lot. Just got a busy day today here at on the homestead.
And finally, Mr. Speaker Pro Tem, we need to put this body on
When
a
you say what's up,
bipartisan
dog, it
path
reminds me
to achieve
of
real results for the American public. That is what we were sent
The
to
joke.
do.
The
That is what
Office.
we need to do. That is why Hakeem Jeffries is the leader we need at this time to lead this chamber.
Understandable.
I'd like
Is
to
this too
nominate
loud?
Hakeem Jeffries
I
as
need to
Speaker
turn
of the
this
House.
down
I
just a
yield
touch.
back.
I don't think so. Maybe a tad.
I just don't want it to be over us. I want to make it easier so that we can continue to talk. So, I've attempted to do these noon shows several times, tried doing day shows, or tried doing morning
No
shows, or
further
tried doing different.
nominations. The reading clerk will now
YouTube is
call
going to
the
have to
roll.
become just that.
Adams,
And we'll do things similar to
Jeffries.
this.
Adderhold,
See, now they're going to do call for
Jordan.
roll.
Aguilar, Jeffries,
Here we go.
Alford, Jordan,
Okay, so now they're just calling for roll. So this is going to take a minute because
Jordan.
there's the awful lot of people that they got to go
Allred.
through to count
Jeffries.
out.
Amadei,
You know how many times they go through
Jordan.
these rolls like this?
Let's
Armstrong,
make fun of their
send
names.
It's
Just send a
amazing.
link to Squab.
Arrington,
Yes, Bub's in
Did
the
it?
chat.
Yes, I did. I did.
Jordan,
I just didn't.
Auchincloss,
or-
Jeffries.
Doesn't seem as very many people realize that we're
Babin.
live at the moment.
Jordan.
Mr. Malloy also
Didn't-
just went live.
Bacon.
Seriously, just
McCarthy.
now?
Yep.
How?
Not like just now, a bit ago, like a little bit ago.
Baird. Jordan.
It's fine.
Alderson. Jordan.
It's fine.
Balance.
It's not a big deal.
Jeffries.
It's Miss
That's
Malloy.
just what he
Banks.
does.
Right.
Jordan.
Uh,
Barr. Jordan. Barragan.
Oh, he's doing his trip
Jeffries.
to the temple
Bean
today.
of Florida. Jordan. Beatty. Jeffries. Bentz.
There's a lot of Jordans.
Jordan.
oh no.
Barra. Jeffries. Bergman. Jordan. Beyer. Jeffries.
So, I mean, we're
Vice. Jordan.
to
Biggs.
Helen's back. Hey, Cool Frog in chat.
Jordan.
Hope everyone is doing well. We're
Bill
doing
Arrakis.
great. Good to see you. Glad you're here.
Jordan.
We're kind of
Bishop of Georgia.
kind of kicking off days
Jeffries.
and kind of bringing it back
Bishop of North Carolina.
with Jimmy.
Jordan.
All the way back January 9th, myself and Jimmy
Jeffries.
YouTube were the first ones to
Blunt
Jimmy was the
Rochester.
first one to join me. I decided let's do something
Jeffries.
different. Let's run day stream.
Bogart.
And I needed something to do with this YouTube channel. So I'm
Jordan.
like, let's get back to day streaming. Let's go back.
Bonamici.
Let's have some fun. Vicky is sitting around us. Vicky, come join us.
Jeffries.
Vicky's here with us. I
Boss.
did throw a couple other links. I know that some
Jordan.
people can or can't if they, whatever.
Bowman.
However, you can join us if you
Jeffries.
feel is if you want to.
Boyle of
We'll open
Pennsylvania.
it up.
Jeffries.
I don't know. I
Brackeen.
really don't have myself pushed out
Jordan.
anywhere. If you can, anybody
Brown.
that's out there, you take this.
Jeffries.
I don't even have my
Brownlee.
studio open. That's how ridiculous
Jeffries.
I am right now. I
Buchanan.
haven't been on YouTube in a bit. So I
Donalds.
know my algorithm's all messed up. I know there's other things that are going to go ahead and play factors. Yeah, immediately limited monetization. Immediately, like
Emmer.
it always does.
Oh, yay. Beautifully's coming.
Okay, awesome.
Sweet.
Oh, remember your sub number, Helen. That's awesome.
Bouchon. Jordan.
I think we need to
Basinski.
turn on ads, I guess.
Jeffries. Burchett.
3 likes, 3 concurrent viewers.
Jordan.
Clearly, not everybody's hit that like button.
Burgess.
Smash that like button if you haven't
Jordan.
done so already. Looks like there's
Burleson.
going to be an ad coming up here, supposedly.
Bush.
Ads will run shortly for some viewers.
Bush?
In 35 seconds.
An ad break.
Calvert.
The hell is this?
Jordan. Kamek. Jordan. Caraveo.
Be there soon.
Jeffries.
I
Carbajal.
finally caught alive. I still remember my sub
Jeffries.
number was 945.
Cardenas. Jeffries.
It's amazing. It's amazing because
Carey.
in the last several months
Carl.
of watching my numbers fluctuate up
Jordan.
and down, I
Carson.
just dropped back underneath
Jeffries.
1100.
Carter of Georgia.
Really, the growth has been
Carter of
fairly
Louisiana.
stagnant for the last
Jeffries. Carter
year-ish,
of Texas.
8 months.
Jordan.
I got a couple new people
Cartwright.
coming around for the next couple of
Jeffries.
Fridays and
Kassar.
local streams. Those
Jeffries.
conversations with Cool Frog, those have been moved to
Case.
locals.
Jeffries. Caston,
paid memberships here
Jeffries,
on YouTube,
Pastor of Florida,
I will find something else to do.
Jeffries,
I really will.
Castro
I
of
know
Texas, Jeffries,
that there's a couple
Chavez
people that
DeRemer.
realize that Lady
McCarthy,
Frog has this want and to try to do something herself, which I find very fun.
I'm excited about it.
Me too. Me too. So we
Sherpa
could see something come down the line from Lady Frog at
Jeffries.
some point in time
Chew.
soon. Myself and
Jeffries.
Beautiful, I believe we still have
Cisco Mining,
eventually have some
Jordan.
kind of a show set
Clark
up
of
for locals to at least start
Jeffries.
with the Durham
Clark
report.
of New York,
Who knows where that will snowball into? We might
Jeffries.
read other books, do some other
Cleaver,
whatever. You just never know.
Jeffries,
It could be fun, could be
Klein.
interesting. Being
Jordan,
that I learned how to use the
Cloud.
StreamYard with the locals,
Jordan,
I do have 2-hour windows
Clyburn.
to do things.
Jeffries,
I think there's going to be a
Clyde.
lot more to come down the line, and
Jordan,
I think we should all be excited
Cohen,
when it comes to Lady Frog.
Jeffries,
Lady Frog
Yeah.
could. I think there's going to be something good come out of that.
Oh yeah, I
Cole.
agree. It's gonna be great.
I think it'll be a
Jordan.
change of pace. Be cool.
Collins, Jordan, Comer,
She's such a lovely
Jordan.
lady.
Connolly,
So, well, I mean, we'll see. We'll see. So, I mean,
Jeffries.
if y'all haven't done so already, take and share this out to
Correa.
places that you'd like to share things.
Jeffries,
And let them know, hey, Cool Frog's
Costa.
live. Cool Frog's live in the afternoon.
Jeffries, Courtney,
More frog activity from To
Jeffries.
Hell and Back? Heck yeah.
Craig,
Heck yeah. I'm going to see what I can do to keep things
Jeffries,
moving.
Oh, Helen,
Crane.
you'll love his wife. She is
Jordan.
lovely. She is so
Crawford.
wonderful. I just love that lady.
Jordan,
She's so sweet.
Crenshaw,
And she's so heartfelt and she's just a
Jordan.
beautiful woman.
Crockett,
I'm so happy that we're getting to be good friends.
Jeffries, Crow, Jeffries, Cuellar,
Oh boy, Jeffries is
Jeffries.
beating out Jordan.
Curtis,
Okay, we got a bit to go.
Well, see, now the thing is
Davis of
Jeffries is going to pick
Kansas.
up all the Democrats. Every single last one of them.
Jeffries.
Right.
And that's where Republicans have the majority of the
Jordan.
House. The four
Davis of Illinois,
that have said others
Jeffries,
is what sways things. That's
Davis
where the
of
issue
North
is.
Carolina,
That's where the issue is. You can't
Jeffries,
if you see
Dean
that
of
go up to
Pennsylvania,
I don't know if I think that was still at
Jeffries.
6 or 7.
DeGette,
You're gonna have an issue.
Jeffries,
You're gonna have an issue because those are Republicans that
Cruz.
aren't voting for Jordan.
Jordan,
All the Democrats are gonna vote for Jeffries.
DeLauro, Jeffries, Del Bene,
Because no matter what, Democrats are going to stay
Jeffries.
solid with each other,
DeLuzio,
regardless to
Jeffries.
how separated or
DeSaulnier.
divided they really are themselves.
Jeffries,
They have the tendency
Desjardins,
to be like, "No,
Jordan.
we are against the other side."
D'Esposito, Zeldin,
See, right there, others 5. You hear the uproar coming? People, what
Diaz Balart,
they do? Yeah, I thought we had
Scalise.
this figured out.
Ooh, 6 others.
Oh,
Ooh.
there's a wrench. There's something wrong
Bingle.
with this particular.
Jeffries.
I seriously don't see
Doggett.
them sitting somebody right now.
Jeffries,
If that's there's no
Donalds.
way.
Jordan, Duarte, Jordan,
They have to finish the
Duncan.
count.
Jordan,
Oh
Dunn
boy.
of Florida, Jordan, Edwards,
Cake. What's on?
Jordan,
Cake.
Good to see you back. How's it been
Mike Garcia.
at the front? My phone shouted at me. Get on the tube and say hi. Hope everyone's okay. Apologies, MIA. I've been MIA for the last few weeks because I've been yeeted from YouTube. YouTube gods are mad at me. So you're trying to
Emmer.
play it different, trying to play
Jordan.
it nice, do some politics
Escobar.
during the day. Go back to
Jeffries.
doing some of the day streaming that I
Eshu.
had I so much enjoyed doing. We had
Jeffries.
quite an audience of people.
Espayat.
And I usually open it up.
Jeffries.
So, I threw links at a
Estes.
couple different people. If they're
Jordan.
interested, come join us.
Evans.
Come hang out.
Jeffries.
He
Azell.
is. Okay. You
Jordan.
two, don't let there be too much dead
Fallon.
air. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Jordan.
There must be a little one around.
Finstra. Jordan.
All right. Well, Cake, I'm so
Ferguson.
glad to see you here. I
Scalise.
missed you, lady. Yeah. I guess I've been MIA too from around here too.
Finstad.
Because I've just been hanging out on Discord.
Fishbach.
Beautifully.
Jordan.
Yesterday, one of the news channels had a
Fitzgerald.
hot mic yesterday. All you heard was
Jordan.
cows.
Fitzpatrick. Jordan.
That's awesome.
Fleischman.
Oh my gosh.
Jordan.
That's so funny. Well, come on, Jordan. You need some more votes there. You're getting behind.
Fletcher.
Look at that.
Jeffries.
Ooh, we're up to 8 others.
Flood. Jordan.
Who's
Foster.
Flood?
Jeffries.
I don't know a person named Flood.
Fushi.
Fushi?
Jeffries. Fox.
Fushi.
Jordan.
Fushi. That's a good name.
Lois
Fushi?
Jeffries. Scott Franklin.
What else you been up to lately, Miss Cake?
Frost.
How's your mama?
Jeffries.
Has she been watching any good
Hi.
K-dramas lately?
Jordan. Fulcher.
Her mom watches the best stuff. I'm like, oh, let me give you some recommendations.
Jordan. Gallagher. Jordan.
Oh,
Gallego.
Gallagher. Gallagher? Wait, Gallagher?
Gallego.
Jeffries. Garbarino.
Oh, looks like Gallagher.
Selvin.
Oh, man. Jeffries is 2 points ahead, man. Now what you gonna do?
Mike Garcia.
It was Squab. I went to go talk to Squab
Robert
real quick
Garcia.
because he was sitting
Oh.
in chat.
Oh,
Or he was
good.
sitting in the
Garcia
lily
of
pad. So
Illinois.
Tell him to get his butt in here.
I said that we were live. That I
Garcia
sent him
of
a link. He
Texas.
could come join us, and he's like, "Oh,
Jeffries.
I was just watching Malloy.
Jimenez.
I didn't see your nonotification."
McCarthy.
So I'm guessing
Oh.
there isn't much of a notification that really went out. Being that I
probably.
set it up just a half hour before I said I was going to go live at 10:30, and it's still
Golden
not
of Maine.
10:30. We started really
Jeffries.
kind of early for it, so I doubt the
Goldman of New
notification
York.
really went out there. So again,
Jeffries.
everybody, please take this and share this
Gomez.
somewhere that you
Jeffries.
don't normally or that you like to share things, and that's going to draw people in
Tony
here.
Gonzalez.
Because we're not going to have an
Scalise.
audience otherwise. And I
Right.
bet we could get quite an audience around here.
Well, for this thing, sure. Who else is? Is anybody
It-
else
the-
doing
the
this?
only people that I seen that were live
Jeffries.
was Mr.
Good of
Malloy
Virginia.
that I'm really
Jordan.
concerned about because
Oh,
I
well,
know that he
of
he
Texas.
draws. Anybody else? There's
Jordan.
nobody else really live right at this moment that
Go
I'd
Sar.
seen. I'm going to take another
Jordan.
look.
Gottheimer.
There's.
Jeffries.
I thought some of the lawyers might be doing this.
Scalise.
You'd think so, but I don't think a lot of them do.
Maybe they don't know what's happening right now.
Graves of Louisiana.
Maybe they're not paying
Jordan.
attention.
Graves of Missouri. Jordan. Green
Missouri?
of Tennessee.
Oh boy.
Jordan.
Look at the others. They're up to
Look at
12.
of Texas.
dozen others. Ridiculous.
Jeffries.
Gonna try keeping you with me on the road, and we'll be back.
Green of
ASAP.
Georgia.
Okay.
Jordan.
Sounds good, cake.
Griffith.
Yay,
Jordan.
cake.
Grijalva. Jeffries.
It sounded like
Grossman.
Beautiful is going to join us eventually. Yesterday, one of the news channels had a hot mic
Grossman.
yesterday.
Yeah.
All I heard was jackass.
Jordan. Jeffrey.
The
Jordan.
one that got me,
Hageman.
whatever, was from the house where
Jordan.
the one girl goes and
Carter of California.
she acts
Jeffries.
out like she's shooting
Harris.
herself with a gun
Jordan.
right on the house floor. I'm like,
Harshbarger.
how horrible is that?
Jordan.
Why would she
Hayes.
even mock that? She can't do that.
Jeffries.
Like that's not. Oh no.
Kern.
Yikes.
Jordan.
It was just her pointing her
Higgins of
finger at her
Louisiana.
head, and pretending to
Jordan.
do that. And I'm like,
Higgins of New York.
why? No.
Probably not a good
No.
place to do that at.
Yeah,
Hill.
on the house floor. No, I doubt. it.
Jordan. Himes.
I can imagine
12
being quite
Jeffries.
bored on the house floor.
Henson. Jordan. Horsford.
You have 400 and some odd people
Jeffries.
to talk to. How can you be
Houchin.
bored?
No, you
I don't
have
think
like
it's-
2 people to
Jordan.
Hi,
talk.
Lisa.
Most of those guys probably hate
Houlihan.
you.
Jeffries.
What's up, Lisa? How's it
Hoyer.
going?
Jeffries. Hoyle of
Or they
Oregon.
think it's boring?
Jeffries. Hudson. Jordan. Huffman. Jeffries. Huizinga. Jordan. Hunt.
I mean, for the people in
Jordan.
there, it's really tense.
Isa.
But
Jordan.
nah, it seems
Ivy.
boring from the outside looking in.
Jeffries. Jackson of Illinois. Jeffries. Jackson of North Carolina. Jeffries. Jackson of Texas.
Vicky, check a
Jordan.
DM.
Jackson Lee.
Okay.
Jeffries. Jacobs. Jeffries. James.
Oh, God.
Miller Meeks. Candace
Who
Miller.
is that, anyways? I don't even know who that person is.
James Miller of Michigan. He just called out some random dude. Because it can be. It doesn't need to be. Seriously, he picked another person off the house floor. But it doesn't need to be. Now you hear the big uproar. 13. There has to be some reason that such a.
House will come to order.
Mm-hmm.
The clerk will continue.
Jayapal. Jeffries. Jeffries. Jeffries.
Shouldn't be able to
Oh,
vote for
boy.
yourself.
Oh, boy.
Is that Pelosi?
Oh, expert
Yes.
just went live doing the same thing?
Jeffries. Johnson of
Are you
Louisiana.
kidding me right now?
Jordan.
I'm not surprised.
Johnson, Ohio. Jordan.
He's like, oh, somebody else is doing
Johnson of
something.
South
Hurry up, get
Dakota.
on that.
Jordan.
Yeah, I guess so.
Jordan.
That's the news cycle, baby.
Jordan.
Gotta love it. It's awesome. So we could just go street snipe
Joyce of
the
Ohio.
expert watching Congress.
Joyce of Pennsylvania. Jordan.
That
Ken
is
Lover Dove.
an option.
Jeffries.
No,
Captor.
not gonna
Or
do
we
it.
could absorb his stream into
Not gonna do it.
ours.
I'm good.
Jeffries. Kane of New Jersey.
Boomer, what's up?
Jordan.
Hey,
There
Boomer.
are quite a
Keating.
few streaming this.
Jeffries.
See,
Kelly
it's
of
an
Illinois.
important thing. There's a lot of people that are interested in what's happening with this
Jeffries.
particular ordeal.
Kelly of Mississippi.
That 13 others
Jordan.
that really,
Kelly of Pennsylvania.
it's not going to be cute at the end. You're not going to see somebody that's going to say, "Oh, Jordan's the
Boehner.
whatever." Oh,
99, 99, 14 others. Wow. Still got a lot of votes.
Connor.
so as opposed to adjourning after this fails,
Mm.
they should seriously pick another person. Maybe they should pick the other person and say,
Connor.
"Okay, that's who we're going to go.
Jeffries.
Everybody vote for that person.
Kiggins
Vote
of
for the
Virginia.
person that who's expert.
McCarthy.
Is just another streamer that's friendly with the community."
Yeah, check him out.
Kildee.
He's a cool guy.
Jeffries.
Wears sunglasses.
I mean-
inside.
Kylie.
Only cool guys do that.
I guess.
Jordan. Kilmer. Jeffries.
Val
Kim
Kilmer.
of California. Jordan. Kim of New Jersey. Jeffries. Krishnamurthy. Jeffries.
Frogman, I'm going to
Custer.
take my union allocated smoke break.
Jeffries. Kustoff.
Smoke break, did you say?
Smoke break,
ahead.
you say?
I do say.
Jordan. Balota. Zeldin.
Hi, Squabba.
Soft squad bomb. Is this
U-
for
Union
Jim Jordan? Yes, Jim Jordan for the Republican side. Jeffries is on the Democrat side, and they're currently
From
at
Alpha.
16 others. I doubt
Jordan.
that Jim Jordan's going to pick this up today.
Lamborn.
If they,
Lamborn.
I hope one
Jordan.
of those is Mickey Mouse.
Landsman.
We always get
I
votes for
really
Mickey
do.
Mouse.
I don't see this turning out well.
Langworthy. Jordan.
What? So that we have an unusual
Larson
dumbass
of
from
Washington.
Lincoln, Omaha,
Jeffries.
just
Yeah,
being
Larson of
contrarian.
Connecticut. Jeffries.
Yeah, well,
Latta.
there's several of them. There's several of
Jordan.
them. It's not just.
LaTurner. Jordan. Lawler. Speaker Kevin McCarthy. Lee of California. Jeffries. Lee of Florida. Jordan.
Look at
Lee
your
of
DM,
Nevada.
Frog.
Jeffries. Lee of Pennsylvania. Jeffries. Ledger Fernandez.
You know,
Jeffries.
Am I right?
Briscoe.
yeah.
Yeah.
Jordan.
Yeah.
Letlow. Jordan.
We'll let it be. We'll let it be. It's okay.
Oh, yeah.
Jeffries.
What's up, beautiful?
Blue.
Yeah, I
Jeffries.
made it.
Hi,
Cochrane.
sweetheart.
Hello, hello. Hey,
Jeffries.
Squad.
I'm so glad
Hey,
to hear you.
everybody.
Loudermilk. Jordan. Lucas.
KLI, I wish it was Michael Jordan.
Luke Meyer. Jordan.
Oh, that would be awesome.
Luna.
He would have made it by now. They wouldn't be doing all
Jordan.
this voting over and over again if it was
Latrell.
Michael Jordan.
Right?
Jordan. Lynch. Jeffries.
Jordan's not a given,
Mace.
Squad, because Jordan
Jordan.
won't stand for the bullshit that they're trying to pull
Magaziner.
off.
Jeffries. Malio
These are the
Topic.
ones that will normally
Jordan.
What's up, KLI?
Man.
scheme with the Democrats to
Jordan.
get votes and to you know,
Manning.
what McCarthy was into. That's why they don't
Jeffries.
want Jordan, because Jordan's not standing for that crap.
Massey,
Right.
Jordan,
And
Mast.
you notice that number
Jordan.
17. That
Matsui,
number's grown.
Yeah, it was 16
Jeffries.
yesterday.
Macbeth,
Somebody else has defected, I assume.
Jeffries, McCarthy, Jordan,
See, even
I mean,
McCarthy's
yeah.
McCarthy's
McCall.
saying Jim Jordan.
McCarthy's
Jordan.
been back in Jordan. He's like, yeah, it's-
McLean,
Anybody that's backing
Jordan.
McCarthy should be backing
McClellan.
Jim Jordan. For whatever reason,
Jeffries,
they're not.
it's a
McClintock,
divided party. It's a divided house.
It's a very,
Yes.
very divided party, and it's
McCollum.
it's interesting to see how solid
Jeffries.
the Democrats really are, as they are divided themselves. We've seen
McCormick.
some of the division within the last few weeks,
Jordan,
as we've seen the whole ordeal with Israel
McGarvey.
Hamas.
Oh gosh.
Jeffries,
Yeah,
I know.
no.
McGovern,
I know. I'm just like, I know way
McHenry.
I know way too much about Jada Pinkett because I've been
Jordan.
avoiding the war.
Jeffries,
So you've been
Menendez.
avoiding
Not
my
bad.
channel. Ah,
Jeffries,
No, I've been sleeping when
Me.
you're on, but just generally the news feed is either Jada Pinkett
User.
or Israel and Hamas. It's like, come on,
Jordan,
I'll take Jada
Influme.
Pinkett even though she's an annoying bitch.
Jeffries,
But yeah, at least I know I can
Illinois.
pick a definitive side, and everyone else isn't going to fight
Jordan.
with me.
Miller of Ohio,
Truth.
Jordan,
No, you can't because
Miller of West
no,
Virginia.
kiss my ass and leave me alone.
Jordan, Miller Meeks,
there's a sweet comment there for you from Squat Bob. We all love you, beautiful, and wish you well.
Thank you, Squab. Thank you, Frog, as well. That was a lovely message. And
Granger,
Absolutely.
yeah, it's going to take some time, but I appreciate all the support. You guys are absolutely amazing. Don't ever forget that, all of you.
Mills,
I love you, sweetie.
Jordan,
I love you. It's just the only thing missing is the hugs.
Molinaro.
Like, I need my hugs from my
Jordan.
people. Where are they?
Molinar,
I can't get those on Amazon
Jordan,
unless I'm
No.
the delivery driver.
Jordan,
From the delivery driver.
Yeah.
Jordan,
You can always
Oh,
put that in
Molinar.
your little thing that you say, you know, what they have to do, what special
Wisconsin.
instructions.
Yeah, you got to hug me before you give me the parcel.
Jeffries,
Yep. I like
Moran,
that.
They'd
Make sure
cancel all
he's
my
hunky.
deliveries. They'd cancel all my
Pirelli.
deliveries. They were like, no,
Jeffries,
we're not sending our drivers out to be
Moskowitz.
harassed.
Jeffries,
Mighty Meats now
Moulton.
live as well.
Jeffries,
Oh, yeah.
Mervan,
Is everybody showing this now?
Jeffries,
It looks like it.
Oh,
I sent out a
apparently.
message on Frog's Discord saying that everyone Frog's live on YouTube.
Murphy,
I think they've seen that.
Jordan.
If, yeah, now everyone's like, okay, that means I need
Nadler.
to go live.
Jeffries,
And as you say that, I'm
Napolitano.
like thinking about this. I'm like,
Jeffries,
I seriously have not
Neal.
gone around and
Jeffries.
put out that I'm actually live
Goose.
anywhere. Like
Jeffries,
the pond doesn't say that I'm live.
Nails,
There's no event for
Jordan.
it. There's no nothing.
New
It's
house.
just okay. Let's go.
He
Jordan,
started a trend. See what
Nickel.
you did?
Jeffries,
Everybody's like, oh my goodness, Frog's
You know,
live. He's doing this.
what?
Well, I should do it too.
I gotta go
Jeffries.
down too.
Norman,
Damn it.
Jordan,
That's
Okay,
great.
fair
Nunn
enough.
of Iowa,
What? I
Jordan,
love it. It's fun.
Obernolte, Jordan,
Okay.
Ocasio Cortez,
The
Jeffries,
donkey. It's the donkey.
Ogles, Omar,
Jeffries.
Jeffries,
Mm.
Jordan, Pallone, Jeffries, Palmer,
She a jackass.
Jordan, Panetta,
I mean, that goofy ass. Oh,
Jeffries.
gosh, anyway.
Pappas, Jeffries, Pasquale,
What? I
Jeffries.
don't even know who that is. Good luck to him.
Payne.
There's so many more that have defected. I don't get it.
Payne.
It's like they're playing a game,
Pelosi.
or these could actually be Dems as well that have joined the I'm not voting for Jeffries, I'm not voting for Jordan.
Jeffries.
But I'm sure Benny Johnson's going to have a list of who
Jeffrey.
voted for what for me later.
Pence. Jordan. Perez.
We're just gonna put it all out there.
Benny Johnson
Perez.
also has a whole team behind him that sits there and
Jeffries.
does all the stuff for
Oh,
him.
no. I
Harry.
understand. That's why I said I'm sure he'll have a list or something
Jordan.
later.
Peters. Jeffries.
If I had the capacity,
Patterson.
I'd try and, because he
Jeffries.
clips the speeches as they're happening and stuff. And I'm like,
Pfluger.
I wish I had the
Jordan.
capabilities to do that.
Jeffries. Pingree. Jeffries.
Kiss my hands,
Cocan.
bitch.
Jeffries. Porter.
Bite me.
Jeffries. Posey. Jordan.
Okay.
Presley.
Bite me, bitch.
Jeffries. Quigley.
We are on YouTube and YouTube alone.
Ramirez.
I know. I understand. I'm sure they understand what bite me, bitch means. I didn't say anything else.
Raskin. Jeffries. Russian
What?
Butler.
I'm being very tame for
No,
YouTube.
I love it. It's good.
Rogers.
Cheers
of
to
Washington.
me.
It's a little bit of pumpkin
Jordan.
spice for the season. What you on about?
Rogers of Alabama.
About to
Jordan.
have my
Pumpkin
union
spice.
allocated smoke again.
Another
Rogers
one.
of Kentucky.
Yeah,
Jordan.
another one.
Rose. Jordan. Rosendale. Jordan. Ross. Jeffries. Rouser. Jordan. Roy. Jordan. Ruiz.
Man, at the beginning it was just Jordan.
Yeah, there's more Democrats. They've got more
Jeffries.
versus. They've got more.
Rutherford.
What do you call it? Variety in the letters that they've got in their names, I suppose.
So they need. So because it was what 435
Ryan.
is the number. I think it's
Jeffries.
434. I think because I think
Salazar.
there's one person that's
total.
not there.
Okay.
Jordan.
If I'm not mistaken, there's one person that's
Salinas.
not there, and they need
Jeffries.
to the
Sanchez.
217
Jeffries.
to become
Santos.
the Speaker of the House. Now, if you need 217 to be Speaker of the House, and you see these numbers as they go
Sarbanes.
up,
Stop.
and you know
Jeffries.
you know how many Republicans are there and how many
Scalise.
Democrats are there. There was a two.
Jordan.
Stop clapping.
Scanlon.
Was it
Jeffries.
220, 214,
Schakowsky.
something like that?
Jeffries.
The
Yeah.
current numbers,
Schiff.
so they should have
It's
enough off the
Jeffries.
Republican side to do it.
They
Schneider.
should, but the
But-
Republicans aren't playing part, aren't two in
Jeffries.
line. So
Skolton.
Right.
you've already by the 19 that are there,
Jeffries.
you're already below figures to
Schreier.
make the numbers.
Jeffries.
Right. I mean, you really
Schweikert.
seriously like at 6,
Jordan.
and you're seeing 19.
Austin Scott.
You're going to end up with less than the 200 that you need anyway. The two, it's going to be
David
below
Scott.
200, and you need
So
like
then
215.
Did you listen to my show last night?
Jeffries.
Monsieur,
Scott of Virginia.
Monsieur.
so there-
Jeffries.
I don't remember what they called
Self.
it. There's a. I probably have to
Jordan.
look it up. There's a
Sessions.
particular
Jordan. Sewell.
There's a particular thing that they
Jeffries.
called it.
Sherman.
I'm gonna have to go dig
Jeffries.
through all my news articles from
Cheryl.
okay.
in my history.
Jeffries.
A particular type of
Simpson.
vote that they would use
Scalise.
that they haven't used since just before and just after the Civil War.
Oh,
So
yeah,
why
I remember
do-
you talking about that.
But so where was that when they were doing the McCarthy crap?
Pelican,
Backwards and forwards and backwards
Jeffries.
and forwards. They're playing games with the people.
of Missouri.
That's what they're doing. This is an emotional flipping
Jordan.
roller coaster for us. They're harvesting our
Smith
energy.
of
Carry on.
Nebraska. Jordan.
I think.
Smith of New Jersey. Jordan. Smith of Washington. Jeffries. Smucker. Jordan. Sorensen.
The hell kind of name is Smucker?
Jeffries. Soto. Jeffries. Spanberger. Jeffries. Sparts. Sparts.
Oh, welcome back.
Stansberry.
Hello.
Jeffries.
Beautiful kicked herself
Stanton.
by accident.
Oh,
Jeffries.
as you do.
Stauber. Westerman.
And I don't know if her volume's working now or. I have no clue.
It's complicated.
Oh, she won again. Yep. It gets complicated. It gets very complicated sometimes.
Steele.
Trying
Jordan.
to find
you.
this
There you go.
Stefanik. Jordan. Style.
half the speakership
Jordan. Stubbe.
that hadn't been used since the
Jordan.
Civil War.
Stevens.
The
Jeffries.
plural.
Strickland.
I can't just say the word. Why I can't just
Strong.
say the word plurality election,
Swalwell.
which could potentially
Jeffries.
turn
Sykes.
the plurality
Jeffries.
election could turn something
Takano.
wrong, where you could still have
Jeffries.
somebody
Tenney.
as Hakeem Jeffries being your
Jordan.
Speaker of the House, even with
Tanadar.
the majority being the other
Jeffries.
side. That is
Thompson
a
of
potential of
California.
that happening.
Jeffries.
I had this article
Thompson
up last
of
night
Mississippi.
on the Rumble side of things,
Jeffries.
where I now run Stick with
Thompson
Cool
of
Frog.
Pennsylvania.
You can still catch me there every night. You know,
Jordan.
I do have to do some research yet today
Tiffany.
for that, but whatever. We'll have fun.
Jordan.
Playing games.
Timmons.
Jim Jordan
Jordan.
could take Pat the speakership
Titus.
in this plurality thing.
Jeffries.
But
Tlaib.
it's risky. It's risky because it could take a path
Tlaib.
of turning to the point where you'd just be whoever
Takuda.
has the most votes is basically what it's going to come
Jeffries.
down to.
Yeah.
Tonko.
Where Jeffries could be
Jeffries. Torres of California.
your next Speaker of the House.
Jeffries.
Now,
Torres.
is
of New York.
Jeffries running the Democrat Party?
Jeffries.
That was the next thing that I actually went over, and I went through with
Trahan.
Matt Gaetz
Jeffries.
saying how he feels about
Trone.
they didn't
Trone.
that he's not really
Turner.
the leader, as
Yeah.
Nancy Pelosi is still the
Underwood.
leader.
Okay.
Nancy
Jeffries.
Pelosi's still the leader. Is the way they're pointing it
Jordan.
out. He's just
Van Drew.
the face of the thing
Yeah.
or whatever. So right. So
Yeah, I've heard that.
How nice of Nancy Pelosi
Van
to do
Dyne.
just that
Jordan.
and make
Van Orden.
that man
Jordan.
be the face so that she can stand
Vargas.
there and pull the strings,
Jeffries.
kind of resembling
Vasquez.
some things
I've got
that
no
we can't
boxes,
really
yeah.
speak of. You know, it's kind of
We all see it.
interesting.
We all see it. But yeah, this is okay.
VC.
The elegant Lisa
Jeffries.
Faltersack in chat
Velasquez.
has something to say about your show and how you're running it.
Jeffries.
I think this is kind of thing
Wagner.
Kurt
Jordan.
would do,
Wahlberg.
but he changed it how he
Jordan.
wants.
Waltz.
Now he's doing pre-recorded
Jordan.
stuff.
Wasserman Schultz.
I don't know if all the time now.
Jeffries.
I don't know.
Yeah, I think.
I don't know.
Oh, I thought he pre-recorded in bulk and then split that up.
Jeffries.
Yeah, that's what I thought. He always just always pre-recorded in bulk. Yeah.
Watson Coleman.
Got to look at what he
Then-
wears.
Jeffries.
Ugh, no thanks.
Weber of Texas. Jordan.
Be nice. No, be nice.
Webster of Florida.
We're all humans.
Winstrup.
It's not about being human. It's about putting my YouTube filter
Jordan.
on.
Westerman.
I've been kind of doing
Jordan.
this style of format
Wexton.
for some time now. This
Jeffries.
really hasn't,
Wild.
though I name things different
Jeffries.
and try creating
Williams of
things,
Georgia.
doing things at different times.
Jeffries.
I really seriously,
Williams of New York.
it's not that much different than
Jordan.
anything else that I've ever really
Williams
done.
of Texas.
There's a
Oh,
lot of
and
stuff where I've
Lisa?
done it by myself. There's a lot of stuff where I've
Jordan.
done it with other people.
Wilson
And it's
of
always
Florida.
been centric around news, politics.
Jeffries.
And sometimes,
Wilson
we
of South
get off the
Carolina.
rails and we, do
Jordan.
some other things.
Whitman.
Do some other things, but, you just never know.
Oh,
Jordan.
you should come out on a Friday night. That's
Womack.
fun.
Right.
Escalades.
Friday nights, the whole bunch of us all continue to stick with each other and have a fun night of whatever. It's amazing. Mind
By the
blowing
way, Lisa,
kind of
I do
conversations.
actually like Kurt. I
Zinky.
do like Kurt.
Jordan.
I was just saying. It's just me. That's why my name's beautifully inappropriate because,
There you go.
yeah.
So then this Friday is going to be an interesting one. Look at that, 22 others. This Friday is going to be an interesting one. I have asked several different people to come join, have fun conversations with us or whatever. And there's a couple of them that are excited. There's ones that have issues scheduling wise at this moment that eventually start joining. But it should be fun to see what kind of audiences they bring along with them as well. So it should be fun. I say be excited. I say be excited because we're only going to continue to have fun. Right, beautiful?
Absolutely. We'll have fun whether or not you're there. Just come and join us and see what it's like. You'll be surprised. Especially because it's exclusively on Rumble. Oh yeah, it's fun.
The reading clerk will now call the names of the members who did not answer the first call of the roll.
Payne. Jeffries.
Oh, bite me. Pain can bite
okay.
me. Literally, pain.
Sparts.
Yeah, boy.
Jordan. Talib. Jeffries.
Oh, I'm shocked. Rashida Tlaib voted for Jeffries.
I'm telling you, most of the Democrats stick with each other.
Oh yeah,
Trone.
it's a cult.
Jeffries.
Almost. They've got cult-like behaviour over there.
It is a cult.
No, I said they're cult-like. Come
No,
on now.
it is a cult.
Shh, shh, this is YouTube.
Hey.
Be nice. They're
I mean,
hearing it.
technically, when we talk about culture and how it works out, you really seriously look at both sides, and you look at both sides are kind of cultish.
No, I mean like full on black hooded cloaks, the works.
Yeah, they
Like,
follow each other regardless through thick and thin. At least there is some diversity in people saying, nah, I'm not quite fully with what the Republicans are doing. Do you know what I mean? As much as it irritates me, at
Mhm.
least there seem to be people there that aren't along for the ride, regardless of where it goes. We don't want
That's
politicians
some
that are along
22
for the
others.
ride, regardless of where it goes. But this shouldn't be one of those times when they're showing division.
Right? Kind of crazy.
yeah, they're really out for what's good for them right now, and it shows.
The thing is, I don't really think that anybody in a position of power is out for anybody but themselves.
So I mean,
At this stage.
technically, though they would have to go through all of it, all of the Democrats that are there did vote
Hmm.
for the Democrat. Not a
Yep.
single Democrat didn't vote for it. All the others are Republicans.
Yeah, it would have been
All of
220.
them. And that's grown from 16 yesterday to 22 today. Now, I say they should wrap that gavel and say votes commence, nominations proceed right now, and floor's open for nominations. Straight up, floor's open for nominations.
Who do you
If
want
they
then?
go anywhere else,
Hmm.
I call rigged game. There's
Yeah.
no way. There's no. They need to just do it. Get out on the
Who-
floor
who-
and do the damn job.
Who would these 22 others prefer?
Right.
That's what I want to
the
know.
maj-
Nominate the
Who's
person
the
that you would
main
prefer.
person that they nominated? Nominate that person.
Oh,
we
was
vote.
it,
We put that person up against Jeffries. Whatever. We don't come up with it. We do it again.
no, it shouldn't be Jeffries. I don't think Jeffries should.
Well,
I don't like the way
Jeffries is going to
considering
Jeffries is
it's
going to
a,
continue to pick up that Democrat.
My head hurts. It just,
I know he's going to continue to pick up that Democrat nomination
there
because
shouldn't be a Democrat option.
because he's showing
Oh my gosh.
for Nancy Pelosi.
Yep. He's Nancy Pelosi's stand-in puppet mouthpiece. Hmm.
Does this mean she's not moving out?
Oh, she's moved out. She's been kicked out.
No, she's said that she's going to actually run. She's going to run for this next election circuit
Yep.
again.
What?
She wants
Yeah.
to be the next Feinstein.
Though she
by the
said
looks
that
of
she
it.
retired. She's trying to be the Michael Jordan of politics.
The next Feinstein, she's looking to be rolled out in a wheelchair with the glasses holding her eyeballs in.
More like she has no grace and can't accept that she's, done with this.
No, she doesn't have grace. She has plastic surgery.
She's not confident in any other person to do the job that she'd been doing.
Yeah.
She has Botox, not grace.
Some people just
Scott
can't
Bob
let
says
it go.
Scott Bob says this, ladies and gents, is our obstructionist government.
Mm.
Hmm.
This is the government. Yep.
You're welcome.
As sad as it is,
It's
How do we
got
get him
people-
out of there?
supposedly
What if-
they're,
what if-
they're-
Vote 'em out.
What if there
supposedly
wasn't a
we
government?
can vote them in or out, but that's supposed. Hey, clumsy.
Hi, clumsy.
Good
Hi,
morning.
Arf, 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 arf.
So we're just waiting on them to go ahead and give us an affirm answer that there is no Speaker of the House,
And we have to vote again.
and then technically they have to vote again. Now, does McHenry gavel and shut down for the day? Come back again tomorrow?
No, it's too early to shut down for the day when they're only voting.
It's the only thing they can do. They can't do anything else.
There's nothing
With
else
that
they can do.
process
They
done and
have
numbers
to-
there
they
on the
have to
screen,
put
now the
somebody
tally finishing up and paperwork to be
in
signed,
charge.
and then it's on to next
If
steps.
they
as
can't-
far as
they can't
what next
decide
steps
on it to be
specifically,
Jordan,
Nobody knows at
They
this
need
point.
to select
But
somebody else on the
Representative Jordan
Republican
with
side
199
that can pick
members
up
of
all
Congress
those
supporting him.
votes.
Republicans
And any
who
less
got
than the
200
number of
yesterday,
votes
you'll
that they
remember.
had for McCarthy
Hakeem Jeffries
just
with the
shows
same
that they've
212
got it
from
rigged
his
as well.
Democratic
Because if they were
coalition.
willing to go that
And
far
then
for
22
McCarthy, they can
voting
go that
again
far for Jordan.
Representative Jordan, nobody voting present. And so this is finishing up, and we'll wait and
You know,
see what
and-
next
and-
steps are as the paperwork and the final.
15,
Jordan in
16 votes,
committees
that's what it
is
takes.
Jordan is strong in committees.
Hmm.
You know, so I mean, for him to be Speaker of the House anyway, maybe not the best option for him.
No, because he needs to be in the committees. He needs to
Right,
be
he
there.
needs to be in those committees. So maybe whoever it is that these 22 others are going with might just be the answer. Now, it cannot be, as he stated himself, that he wouldn't allow it to be McCarthy.
No, that doesn't.
It's who we should have been listening to who all the 22 others were
I can-
and what who they
Yeah.
said. Hey, Puffer.
Hi, Puff Puff.
Hi, Puffer.
What's up, Puffer?
They seemed like a lot of random names to me.
Okay, then. So we've got Bacon, Buchanan, Buck, Chavez, Despacito, Diaz, Bolta, LZ, Ferguson, Garbarino, Jimenez, Gonzalez, Granger, James, Kelly, Kiggins, Lalota, Lawler, Miller Meeks, Rutherford, Simpson, Stauber, and Womack. I have their phone numbers as well, if you'd like.
No. Here's the interesting one. It doesn't tell you who was the main person that they selected to be the Speaker of the House.
No, I've just got the list.
I hate
Which
that the
is-
22 are just
I told
like,
you Benny would
all
come through.
different votes.
I told you they're just random people.
Yeah, just random ass people. They can't decide. I hate that so fucking much.
Buchanan,
But
really?
I knew that Benny Johnson was coming with the list, though. I told you guys.
At least the cult on the other side has like unity. I don't know.
I know my peoples. I know where to get my stuff from.
Indecisiveness will kill this side of politics.
Mm-hmm.
She's a serious shit show.
Apathy.
Yeah.
It's all kind of like gooey inside. Well,
I don't know what you're into right now, Squad, but I'll leave you to it.
gooey goodness.
I mean,
I hope you're talking like a cookie.
Let's not ask too many questions.
cookie?
Cookie? It's all gooey inside? Cookie?
No,
Dead body?
If you don't want the answer, don't ask the question.
Yeah, right. You're right,
if the,
Puffer.
if the viscosity is at a certain gooiness, be careful.
Ooh, viscosity.
It might be too moist.
No, you want it to be more moist. If it's just slightly less moist and more sticky, that's where you're gonna have issues. Telling you every single time.
But what if it gets too liquidy?
No, you'll know. You know, gooey's good. Ah.
Gooey is good.
I know a song called Gooey. You should go look it up.
Gooey's good.
It is a good song. I agree, Puffer.
They're all happy and dressed to the nines, knowing they're shucking their jobs. High school?
I mean, for as
Bless
much
you,
money
Jimmy.
as much money as they
Some
make
time.
in a year's time, just in the wage alone,
Good
not
and
the
tight.
insider stuff, not any of that to go along with it. Just the wage alone is more than enough for them to do what they're doing. Sit around on their asses, twiddling their thumbs. I think we need to reduce that. I think we need
So
to
they've got
reduce
a
that.
third vote coming up?
Oh yeah. There's definitely going to be a third vote.
Wow.
Look at all these fossils.
Does not have the votes, third speaker vote expected. Okay. So then he's not going to gavel out for the day. He's going to. They are going to try to attempt to take a third vote. Now, hopefully,
Jeez.
whoever these 22 people are and whatever it is that they really seriously want can be worked out. I hope they're not ignorant enough to take this to 15 votes again.
As I said, if they do it for McCarthy, why not?
Don't you
Let's
guys
go.
think a paleontologist would have a heyday in here?
Yeah, all those fossils. I think that what you got on the panel right here should be the average age, or the average ages of the people in Senate and Congress.
What a bunch of freaking dinosaurs.
Because even the Declaration of Independence wasn't signed by anybody even as old as me. I don't think so. What the hell happened to politics?
Look at the sassy banana sitting there.
Lisa
That
says,
bitch.
oh, that reminds me, try Cult of Aphrodite. Danny on direct, she does legal stuff and sometimes culty stuff. Yeah, I know who Danny on is.
I like Danny on.
She does a lot of. Does she still do a lot of stuff with Vices?
Yeah.
Mr. Crowley.
Are we on Rumble as well?
Nope.
No,
Oh.
Just the tubes.
we're just on the YouTube. We're just on the YouTube because we haven't been doing anything on the YouTube.
It's a tube, innit?
So
Oh, Puffer.
I think it smells
to
in
get
that
back
room
into
real
it.
bad.
The unwashed masses.
Probably.
no.
Or worse, smells like perfume and cologne.
Oh,
old people.
gosh.
Oh.
And old
And
people.
prunes, yeah, yep.
Oh, don't with the prunes. Oh my gosh, stop. No, it's been decades since I thought about prunes.
So
Oh.
Old Spice and Brew
Yep,
Ew.
Brood for sure.
with,
Brood.
with Ben Gay. With Ben Gay.
Oh,
Oh,
no,
God.
stop it.
And
Because
Charlie-
I literally got.
Oh wait, what's the old ladies that wear the
Oh, you mean
What's
Lady of Lace and
Oh,
Tweed.
ooh
What's that men's hairspray
Tweed.
that starts with the C?
Axe? That's not
so-
see.
No.
There's
That's the-
Axe. Smell of Axe everywhere.
Oh,
Oh
Old
my
Spice. Old Spice.
Gosh.
Oh, Old Spice, yeah.
Is that a hairspray?
No, it's an aftershave, but Old
Oh, no.
Spice and Tweed, those are old people fragrances.
Tweed. Holy cow, I haven't thought of that one in a while.
Exactly. My mom used to wear that.
Okay,
Yes,
so
doesn't anymore.
so Jimmy, really old people's
Old English.
smells, not your old people smells.
Yeah, just like old people.
Like
old.
old people to us.
The
Yeah.
hair?
Yeah. think old people establishment, like old people's homes, rehab centers, old people. Yeah, I think that.
So colostomy bags.
All right, I'm gonna go find this hairspray. I gotta
And
know. what
baby
it's called.
powder.
Cake. Oh, cake. I wonder how many brought a carrot today.
Oh gosh.
Oh,
Porridge and
porridge
fruit.
and
Oh
fruits
no.
for Frickers has to be
Oh, is
done.
it the Cossack hairspray, by the way?
What is Cossack hairspray? Is that like Aquanet to us?
I don't know.
Oh,
Is that what you want about, Jimmy Cossack?
I think he actually stood up to go find out what this was.
I think he's
Like,
gone to ask
like,
Daddy.
like his dad has some or something.
It's called Consort,
Oh, consort. Okay.
oh.
and it is the stinkiest shit. If you are in that puff, oh my god.
Milk of magnesia
choke
and
you out.
Metamucil. Yes,
Oh,
the
gosh.
Metamucil definitely, Lisa.
Vicks Vapor Rub and Albasoil. Oh
Yeah.
gosh.
Oh, God.
Icy hot.
Yeah.
How much medication are all those old people on? That's what I'm
Oh,
wondering.
God.
Oh gosh.
And
They're
their
rattling.
teeth, their
They're all
teeth are
rattling.
all like rotted to hell. They all got like some kind of shit in them.
Denture fix to hold the to hold the teeth in. Oh my
gosh.
gosh.
Yeah. Sex getting old.
It sucks getting old, but it sucks being in a room full of old people as well.
You want to go to bingo, Grandma?
No! Wait, what? Say what? Cake? Men's hairspray that I once accidentally used as a deodorant because I didn't turn on the light.
no.
Woo! That's spicy.
Oh no. I'm sorry, Kate.
Oh,
that had to
my.
have been very sticky.
And stinky. Oh, you poor
Spicy
thing.
armpit.
Oh no.
Oh.
Next time your man's misbehaving, just give him the spicy armpit.
Ooh. Spicy armpit. Here we go.
Here you go, ladies. Here you go. Left the seat up.
Oh,
Popper, you're killing me.
Their farts are what's going to blow the place to the sky, and they'll blame it on something else.
oh gosh, no.
Yeah, you can't let a match in there, otherwise the whole place goes up.
They better be wearing their diapers, damn it.
Do you know what? Sometimes
Well,
when you
that
get to that age,
depends.
the sphincter doesn't always hold in the gas. Do you know what I mean? So they're just walking
Right.
around leaking like, oh gosh, they've got gas
Right.
leaks in there.
They need to go and they need to find some 5-year-old that they can propagandize to go around and plead their case that that something's going to happen to the planet if we don't do something soon. I mean, might as well make it a Ukrainian. I mean, why
know what?
not? Why not?
Corks
Imagine the
are
carbon emissions in
environmentally
this room
friendly.
alone.
Yeah, but corks are environmentally friendly. They could all invest in some.
Cake.
No buttholes.
Cake.
What's the average 60 to 80?
The House will come to order.
Yeah.
The tellers agree.
Senators are a little older than
The
the
total number of
House.
votes cast is 433, of which
Oh,
the Honorable
great,
Jim
Kate.
Jordan of the state of
Killed me,
Ohio has
Cake.
received 199.
Oh,
The Honorable Hakeem Jeffries of the state of New York has received 212.
bite me.
Okay, this list here. They're
60
they're
to
gonna be
80.
loud. They're
The
gonna be
Honorable
loud.
Kevin McCarthy
Yeah,
of the
just
state
because.
of California has received 5. The Honorable Byron Donalds of the state of Florida has received 1. The Honorable Tom Emmer of the state of
Donalds.
Minnesota has received 1.
Yes, I know, but the only sphincter that
Lee
matters
Zeldin
is the
of
one
state
for the
of New York
exit.
has received 3. The Honorable Steve Scalise of the state of Louisiana has received 7.
That's the one that really needs to be working.
Mike Garcia of the state of
Sheldon.
California has received
If
1.
that sphincter goes, you're really in
Miller
trouble.
of the state of Michigan has received 1. John Boehner of the state of
You'll have to pull it
Ohio
out and put an
has
elastic
received
band on
1.
it.
What? Who cares? Keep going.
The Honorable Kay Granger of the state of Texas has received 1.
Say hi to Mom.
The Honorable Bruce Westerman of the state of Arkansas has received
Mom.
1. No person having received a majority of the whole number of votes cast by surname, a speaker has not
Hello,
been
Mom.
elected. Pursuant to Clause
Later,
12A
Kate.
of Rule 1, the chair declares the House in recess, subject to the call of the chair.
No,
Is that it? Are they going home? Is there not
And-
enough vote? What the fuck?
Second day
Wait,
of
what?
voting on a House Speaker, not going the way for Representative Jim Jordan.
What?
And next steps
need
to be
answers.
determined as the House
What?
considers and leadership
That,
considers its
that
next.
was an
There
option.
is
You can
still
call
technically
in and
daylight.
talk about
Put
what
in
you've
another
seen
vote.
that play out
Work.
for the morning and into the
You
afternoon.
lazy
Republicans
bastards.
202-748-8921. Democrats
Then again,
202-748-8920.
they need to cut down that.
202-748-8922. You can text us at 202-748-8903.
That's
You can
Kiss my green ass.
Oh,
Wow.
my gosh, those lazy. See you next Thursdays.
What happened to the third vote?
They're going for nap,
Now
early
they're
nap
gonna,
time instead.
they're going home now.
I don't know.
They get to
They're
go
going,
home after
they're
that.
going to
How much
decide
money
what
did
they're
they
going
make
to do
just then?
next.
How
and
much
then-
money did they make just then?
Too much.
A lot.
A couple of grand each, I'm sure.
What the? Okay, fire them all. That's it. What if we didn't have a government? I asked this earlier, but you
There's
guys
about today about $1 million was split between those lot for their payment for the day. I'm just saying. A good meal at least.
imagine making a couple grand in a day, in a couple hours.
right. Huh. It just floors me right now that I'm just
Oh,
like,
shit.
what? Huh? Are you kidding me right now?
And all you have to do is hear your name and then you stand up and say a name.
Mm-hmm.
You get paid for just saying a name. I want that.
Well, you got to stand too. Some of these people, it's hard for them.
Yeah, standing is hard. I can vouch for that.
Ugh. I hate it. I hate the whole thing.
No, I'm with you on that, Jimmy. I'm really with you on that. It's really disturbing to see how they can go ahead and make it be that they're so ignorant that they can't even come up with a speaker. They can't even come up with a speaker because they don't know how.
What's the point in the government if they can't get this job done? What function are they serving right now? Just spinning their wheels.
Hmm.
What function have they been serving for the past 50 years?
Nothing apart from to help drag the country down.
Nah, this has been a long time
goodness.
coming. These guys need to get the hell out.
Mm-hmm.
They're fucking it up from the inside.
Yes, indeed they are.
And they're going to continue to fuck it up from the inside because they don't care. They really don't.
Why should they be the ones in charge then? Like, if they don't care, why are they in there?
Because
Why?
The average person doesn't see things the way that we do, and they're going to carry on doing the same shit, expecting different results. It's the
What a
human.
sh-
It's the
what a-
human condition when the human has been programmed into this type of institution and this backwards way of thinking.
Well, people think they can just sit back and all these jokers are going to take care of it. And you're
Yes.
looking on what they're doing, and it's just this.
It's the way that we've been conditioned. Things will get better eventually. Things will work out. Wait for that whole patience, and eventually things are going to come right. And
It's
just wait and-
transitory. It's transitory.
Yeah, it's only for now. It'll be over soon.
Yeah, it'll be over soon. It'll be okay.
And it'll all be
Don't
over
worry.
soon.
It's just, we don't need to exist.
And-
We're fine.
People need to stop
Right.
referring to America as a failed experiment, as an idea. it's an actual thing. It exists. That's why people don't have the respect for it, because it's only an idea. It's an experiment. You know, it holds no value. People need to start valuing what the fuck America is.
It's sad. We need more patriotism. Patriotism was at an all-time high when we got attacked. What does that say about our country? We only come together when we think we're in danger.
Because there
Yeah.
were warmongering whores in charge, and when there wasn't, people weren't happy. And now they're trying to take him out.
And that was just a game too.
Yeah, but it's like, it just shows that even if this is a game and people have a choice to choose whichever, they're going for the worst option right now. And I'm like, what is wrong with you all?
I brought this up in Discord the other day, but I heard about this time during the Prohibition era where the government had poisoned numerous kegs that they knew people were going to drink. That's when the government should have ended right there.
Yeah.
When they knowingly poisoned the people.
They knowingly have done many things that they should not be allowed to continue over. Do you know what I mean? It's like,
Oh yeah, it just gets worse from there. Like
Yeah.
that's small shit.
yeah,
Yeah. How about all the experiments they've done on people?
yeah.
Hell yeah.
Blowing up and dropping bombs on American citizens in America. You know, and then
loads of
blaming
stuff.
other people. It's like so much shit.
Loads.
Drone strikes.
Yeah. I'm not even on about drone strikes. I'm on about before that, before 9/11,
Chemical
before,
warfare.
yeah.
Biological warfare on our own citizens.
Be right back.
Even like the Tuskegee experiments when they gave the guys syphilis to see what would happen and didn't treat them. Like, yeah, that's okay. All the other stuff that they've done, even the most recent one.
Comes in to start the process of an election speaker.
They totally ended the stream. They ended it.
Yep.
That stream is now dead. Let's refresh this.
That is okay.
House Speaker election program. That's gone. It says there's a hearing on Iranian threats and Homeland Security, but it looks like that still hasn't convened. That was supposed to start, 25 minutes ago. That may be something that may be interesting to hear in on what they actually think about how the threats of Iran really are playing into what we're seeing a lot of with this war in Israel. I don't, and I never really. I mean, I've asked the question. I've asked the question over on the Rumble side and asked, how many, who thinks that this would be, is something that we really need to get into. Why are we always interfering in everybody else's wars? Why are we in Israel? Do we need to be in Israel? I mean,
but Israel is America's greatest ally, so we have to be there for them. We have to show
Who was that
solidarity.
Who was the chick they asked if we could afford 2 wars? And she's like, yeah, absolutely we can afford 2 wars. We can fight for our friends in Ukraine and fight for our friends over in Israel. We got this.
And meanwhile, your homeland is turning to shit. Okay.
Yeah, meanwhile, the homeland is supporting the other team. And, like, I don't know, this whole thing confuses me. It's like if the Democrats were supporting Russia, but we were supporting Ukraine as a country. That's what this feels like.
Mm-hmm.
It's one giant shit show.
It's ridiculous. And I'm like, you know what? Stop trying to get me to pick a flipping side. Put down the weapons. Stop killing people. How about that?
Yeah, I'd love that. A little bit less death going around. That'd be fantastic. I'm tired of seeing rats digging through bodies in old
Because
freaking war camps.
the Christian hospital in Gaza got blown
That
up.
is their
Now,
goal.
like, who they're going to try and blame
And,
that on? Who did that? Was that
Yeah.
Hamas that did that all of a sudden?
Oh,
like-
they tried to blame that on a certain group.
Yeah.
That was,
And I'm like-
that was fun.
That's what I'm saying. It's ridiculous, the narrative that they're trying to get us to follow. I'm like, come on.
millions of Americans.
That's why I can't get involved. I just
That's why you should start your own channel.
That's a great idea.
It is a great idea. I've been telling her for ages.
You totally could. You could do it on Rumble. Then you can rant all you want. That would be awesome.
No matter how long it takes.
The Spittin' Britain.
Susan told no nation Hamas terrorists safe haven. Iran should not give Hamas terrorists safe
It's
haven.
fun. It's fun. You get to do the you do things the way you wish, with the people that you wish, and how you wish. It's you got to have thick skin. You got to have thick skin. You got to be able to take it. People come at you with different things that you never expect them to come at you with, and it's totally worth it. Totally worth it because you get to meet great, wonderful people, and sometimes those great, wonderful people get to stick around for a long time.
It's really cool when you're putting shit out there that you like and people fuck with that. I don't know. It's like people that you fuck with, you know?
Yeah.
The Iran policy was led by
And then you find you've got
individuals
even
who were
more in
actually
common,
part
and
of
you're
an
just all great
Iranian
people,
government
and you get on really well.
Yeah.
And friends, for me, become
One of
family.
those
I like it.
individuals has been relieved.
Absolutely. I agree with that. Song.
The guy that I liked the most on the net, if I had to choose somebody that was my favorite, Good Logic, according to Lisa, says we should stay out and let them do it. Stay out of Israel. Let them deal with
Let them
their
deal
own
with it
affairs.
because it's.
And what steps the administration
Oh, but if you go back this far, then this is ours. And if you go back, I'm like, no, stop this shit. Stop it.
We are
There's certain things you're
fighting.
not allowed to talk about.
We're fighting
What
two
steps
wars
the
we shouldn't be
administration
fighting.
will take to remediate it.
No new wars. Remember that shit?
We should
yeah.
support the continued
That was
efforts of
awesome.
peace efforts, which President Trump
He
initiated
was a
through
good
the
man.
Abraham Accords. While I disagree with many of the Biden administration,
That's what we're gonna hear a lot of
I strongly
moving
support
forward.
the recent Saudi-Israeli peace initiative. Hamas clearly hopes their terrorist attacks will grind this process to a halt.
I understand why these surrounding
I'm grateful
countries
that
are
many
so
of our
supportive
Arab
of
partners in the
them
face of
because
extreme
everybody in these surrounding
pressure and
countries are
hardship
also citizens
still
that
see
used
the
to be
true
citizens
nature
of the
of
country they were
Hamas
kicked
today.
out of.
They understand that Hamas is an Iranian-backed terrorist organization who wants to wipe
Yes.
Israel off
I
the
know.
face of the
No,
map.
but oh, you know what?
Many
Stop.
of our
I
Arab
can't.
partners have fought and defeated similar organizations like Hamas.
You guys see the
within
screen,
their
right?
own borders.
Mm-hmm.
So I
Yeah.
urge the Biden administration today to
I'm just having
emphasize
fun.
the
I like the
Is it-
layout.
Arab-Israeli
is it
interest
cool?
in
Yeah,
Hamas's
I like that layout.
defeat so that Arab-Israeli peace
Kinda.
efforts can continue to progress. And finally, let me say this, Madam President. I can state with confidence that the people of my state are with Israel. My office has received a remarkable outpouring
Free the girls.
for Israel.
Free the
from
girls.
people across
They're
Mississippi.
free.
We express that support.
All right.
The three
Yeah.
I love it when they free the girls.
by the skilled craftsmen
Freed
of our
girls.
Mississippi
Yeah.
shipyards. Think about that. Mississippi-made hulls carrying the flag of the Star of David are being used to protect the Israeli people from further attack.
And
It's
Lisa,
just
thank you
one
for saying
example
that because I've just been
of
avoiding
our
watching
common
anyone
cause.
because I don't want to
With the
hear
people
what
of
anyone's got to
Mississippi
say that's going to upset me
and
and
with the
potentially
overwhelming
take my
majority
view on them
of
permanently.
senators on both sides of the aisle. I call upon all of us to stand united in support.
Oh, looks like Mighty Meat shut down his stream.
Thank you, Madam.
Madam President,
Senator from Kansas.
Madam President, let my message to Israel be clear. America stands with you and your right to defend yourself from this unspeakable evil.
Don't speak for me, you
Hamas.
shithole.
From my
Sorry, I
own
have
memories,
a crying tadpole. I'll be
my
right
mom,
back.
Sunday school teacher,
Okay.
told me that we support Israel. And as you go through your faith journey, as you go through your education, you learn why your mom, your Sunday school teacher said we support Israel. I had to look no further than my own bedroom wall to see
Yeah.
Moses' 10 Commandments there that my mom had put for my brother and myself to look at every day.
And how did they
when we
feel
awoke
about
in the
Jesus, by the
morning.
way? Oh, sorry, I should
And
ask
we
that question.
learned later that Moses was indeed the greatest lawgiver.
Oh
This
my gosh,
nation
this
was
dude is
founded on
literally
Judeo-Christian
speaking right to
values.
Muslim
It's
people
what
in our country.
defines the United States of America in so many
America.
ways. And to our faith partners in Israel, we're grateful for that heritage and culture that they passed on to us. But what I've learned as a Congress member, I need to pass on to every person in America how important Israel is as an ally. In so many ways, they are the
Of
eyes
course,
and
they're your
ears
ally because
for
you're
America
paying
in a
for
very,
them.
very
You're
troubled
funding them.
land.
10 million a
And
week,
no
is it?
doubt their efforts have
Yeah,
prevented
or a
the
day,
deaths of
whichever.
tens of
It's
thousands of
ridiculous
Americans
amount
by
Can I
of money
have
you're
just
giving
like
them.
1 million? That'd be really
terrorist
cool. I'd like
attacks
start a
from our
business.
enemies. And we're so blessed to
And
share
they're like, oh
military
wow, look at how
technology
well
that's saving
Israel is
American lives
flourishing,
as
and look how
well.
well they're doing,
Indeed,
considering they were
Israel
already
has been one
set
of our
up. Yeah,
greatest,
because you
most
still.
staunch
I'm
allies.
like, you lot are fucking stupid.
Today, we need to face the truth. We need to tell the truth. Hamas is a terrorist organization, and it only knows one language.
Yeah, that's
Death and
Hamas. What
destruction.
about the people, the actual
Hamas's
Palestinian
sole
people?
purpose is to
We don't talk about
radicalize
those,
its
do we?
people,
Because,
to
oh
serve
yeah,
as a breeding ground for
I
terrorism and
understand.
Warmonger's gonna
eradicate
warmonger.
Israel and
I'm not
other
trying to hold my
freedom-loving
tongue. It's not
people
good. Just put down
like
the weapons,
Americans.
please, because I don't want to offend anyone.
And the
Oh no,
actions
this
of
this
Hamas
guy
over
would put
this
them
last
right in
week
their
serve as
hands
an
and say shoot each
illustration
other.
of
Yeah.
their principles. Look, Hamas has no interest
Because I need to
in
make money.
dialogue,
I mean,
only in
if I was to
destruction.
give the opposite story of what he's been,
Hamas
of what
does
he's
not
saying
want
right
peace, they
now,
want
people tell me I'm lying. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna keep that to myself.
Oh man.
Is he? Oh yes, he stopped.
Thank the Lord.
Yes, we're winning.
The internet shut that guy up.
Either the
Keep
internet
keep
said, nah,
spinning. It's a little
we
buffer
had
that
enough
could.
of that. It's a shame we can't buffer out of bullshit.
Ugh. I'm just so sick and tired of this. These guys need to get out. They need to get out right now.
All of it.
Yay!
Ooh, ooh,
Let's go. The JavaScript broke.
we're winning.
Whoopsie doodle.
Like, damn, what a shame.
Oh boy.
I mean, oh yeah. I mean, oh dang.
Oh no.
What happened?
Oh, it's a shame.
Dagnabbit.
Well, there's Frog. Imagine he's back just in time to fix it.
Yeah.
He's still muted if he's trying to talk to us, by the way. 'Cause we, you know.
encouraging them to develop nuclear weapons.
No, I knew I was.
Okay.
I just noticed that it was. I'm like, oh, we should fix that.
Oh,
Iran selling $1 billion.
yay! Thank you.
Because of the way it is, everybody knows that
Under
tadpoles
this
around.
administration, Iran
There's not a single
reserves
person
went
that doesn't
from $6
understand that
billion
tadpoles
to
around,
$60
and
billion.
that he could potentially come
We have
walking
to
in the
stop
room
turning
for
our
whatever
head
reason.
to the
Which is the reason I have a
We need
camera
to
off.
double down on our
And-
sanctions. We need to stop the funding from
You just
Iran.
never know when that's going to be.
True fact.
You just never know.
And then lastly,
Feed me
we
more
need to make
narratives.
sure
We don't
that
trust
all the
Jack
other
anymore.
puppets of Iran
Um,
know that if they engage further
It's
in war
okay. You
with
probably
Israel,
didn't hear the
You want-
discourse.
you want
as
more
my dad would
narratives?
say, they'll be held to pay.
Which narratives would you like?
This seems complicated to many people, but I
Government
think that's why
bad.
it's so
People
important
good.
that the United States outline exactly what our priorities are as we undertake these next several weeks. Number one, first and foremost,
Okay.
should be a focus on getting American citizens back home safely and to free American hostages. Every day that we wait, every day that goes by, American hostages are being terrorized. They're being tortured by Hamas.
Who's
And
this
guess
guy?
what? Americans
It
have
goes
been
without saying that we
terrorized
need to
in
cut the head
America
off the
by
snake, which
people
is
illegally
Iran.
crossing the border. Imagine
But as I
that.
really ponder what's ahead of us here in the near future, I
John
think
is
about
bad.
what one of my boyhood heroes said.
But I know,
Dwight
you know,
David
it's just that it's
Eisenhower,
just a
34th
figment of your
President of the United
imagination.
States. This is
So
what
nothing's
President
really
Eisenhower
happening in
said.
America because it's
I
just an
hate
idea.
war as only a soldier who has lived it can. Only one who has seen its brutality, its futility, and its
All right,
absurdity.
I gotta peace out. It's about to get pretty busy here.
I too hate war.
Okay.
Okay. Have a good day,
Come back if
Jimmy.
you want.
Yeah.
Otherwise, everybody should check out Click Draw Jimmy.
Yeah.
Thank you. I drop.
Oh,
Okay,
he
so
does,
we're on.
and it's
Great.
fun. Love you,
It's
Jimmy.
wonderful work.
Let Jimmy.
Thanks for having me, Frog. Love y'all.
Love you, bye.
Love you, Jimmy.
Hundreds of hostages.
Change
Now he's got
this.
to try and rearrange the screen again.
I support
What
Israel,
format are you going to
and
give
I
us this
understand
time?
Or-
and encourage
or
their need to fight
I can
fire
just
with
get
fire
another
when
person
it
to come
comes
in here,
decimating the
and
Here we
it'll
go,
be
here we
just
go.
fine.
The existence of Hamas is a clear and present danger to the United
I don't know.
States,
Anybody?
Israel,
I
and
thought
Anybody?
someone
the
was lined
entire
up already. I was
free
like,
world.
ooh,
There is
who's
no
that?
I
safe
wish.
Israel. There's no safe
I
world.
wish
There's
I had
no
somebody
safe
lined up.
America as long as
I mean, I do
Hamas
have- I mean-
lives in the Gaza Strip.
I did request somebody.
Madam President, again, I
And-
just pledge my support to
No.
the people of Israel. Thank you. I yield back.
Don't know if it's something that the availability. We'll see.
Madam President, Senator from West
Let's see
Virginia.
how this happens.
Thank you, Madam President. I join my colleague from Kansas and many others who are going to be on the floor today in full and total support of one of our most steadfast allies, the State of Israel. I also stand here today to strongly condemn in the strongest terms the terrorist attacks perpetrated on Israel by Hamas. Since the initial attack on October the 7th, we've lost 31 American
Okay,
citizens.
just
Other
we're
American
equally as confused. That's why I'm,
are
as
being
much as
held
I've said a lot, I'm
Narrative
not trying to
doesn't
I'm
match
trying
the
not to say
narrative
too
picked
much.
up on the
100
news.
Israelis have been killed, and countless families have been left without a home.
Isn't that something?
Without their loved
Isn't
ones.
that something?
This is
Yeah.
an unacceptable
You
tragedy.
don't say.
And
You don't say.
recalls
This
far
is
too
just
familiar
C-SPAN.
memories
This is just
terrorist
C-SPAN. You know,
attacks
so
in our
free
own
free
nation's
use, fair use
We remember vividly
is
devastating and
is fun and
hostile attacks
interesting. Ooh,
ISIS
look, we have somebody.
and can clearly see
Ooh.
parallels between
It's
their
the
terrorist
Squad Bomb.
actions
Hi, Uncle Squab.
Squab. Hi,
Hamas is
Squab.
now perpetrating. Now is the time to
You're one of my
unabashedly
We're
favorite
gonna just
uncles.
rename you Uncle
support
Squab.
Israel.
Yeah,
And I
Uncle
do.
Squab.
Uncle
Uncle
Squab.
Squab.
Time to support
Yeah.
Israel's right to defend
That's a good
themselves
name.
and their
That is a
people.
good name, Uncle
The
Squab.
United
It
States
is Uncle
and Israel
Squab. You're the
have a
best.
long history of demonstrating mutual respect and allegiance to one another. This dates back to 1948, when President Truman
yeah.
Listen,
became the
I could
first
just about stand,
world leader
let alone stand
to
with anyone.
recognize
My gosh.
another state. Since then, Israel has displayed unmatched loyalty.
And of course, Squab,
and critical
as you
support
we're
to our
paying
country
attention to
in the Middle
Congress. You
Israel has stood
watched
beside us in some
at
of our
least
darkest
somebody
hours. And
covered
now, as friends do,
Jim Jordan
them.
not
It is imperative that Congress
being
takes
selected.
action now and provide the support that
Did
Israel needs.
catch a comment from
in
you.
the
You
face
say
of
something
these
about you
terrorist
thought that
attacks,
he
both
should
to
have
properly defend
been a shoo-in and
themselves,
not an issue.
but also
Yeah.
to provide the humanitarian
That's what I
Yeah.
thought as well.
resources needed for those
They made an issue out of last time.
estimated
Mm-hmm.
Nobody liked it.
no mercy towards civilians, many of whom are women and children.
So do
Our country must do all that it can within our
there was
else do they-
quite a
to rescue
list. Did you
American
catch the
hostages
list
and
at the
return
end
them
that
to
he
safety.
he named off
This has to be met
a
with
bunch
increased
of other
urgency.
people? He
This
named
time
off
is of the
McCarthy.
essence.
He's named off
I'm afraid the
Scalise.
longer we wait,
Named off.
the
I need
sadder
to go
the
back
stories,
and
especially for
catch the
those
very
hostages
end of
who are
that
in severe need
and
of
catch the
medical
exact
attention.
names.
We must
Well, see,
also
I'm one who thinks all the
vividly
Democrats should have
acknowledge
voted for him
and praise the
too.
assets that the Biden
Mm-hmm.
administration planned
I mean, why
to
not?
Iran in
I
September.
don't think
All
there
the
should be a
Democrats should
Democrat
have
option.
voted for
Incomprehensible
Jim
to me.
Jordan.
Yeah.
The
I
Biden
don't understand why they've got
administration
a
may announced
Jim,
that they were
Jim
gonna
Jeff. They've got a
unfreeze
Jeffries
$1
up there,
billion
Hakeem
for
Jeffries
Iran,
in there in the
but
first
they would
place.
do
Doesn't make
that
sense
on
to me.
September
We need a
22nd.
Speaker of the House to get anything done.
Additionally,
America
We
wants
need.
Congress to get things done. If Jim Jordan's going to be elected, vote for him.
And we want a Republican Speaker of the House, considering there's a Republican majority. Why is Jeffries up there?
Yeah.
That's the only question I have.
It's simple. It seems simple to me.
To get tough on Iranian oil and to stop
Anything else is just
hurting
it's just
our US
distracting politics.
Iran is
See,
And it's
selling
what
I take
and it's
after
what
my Uncle
America It's what America hates politicians for.
And using these proceeds to see what we
Procrastination.
over the last several weeks.
And just general.
Says, how can we waste a couple of days of taxpayers' money
throughout the region.
on this thing?
And they
That's
fund
what they're
their
thinking.
own military at the same time. It should surprise no
And they ought to be ashamed.
The world leader in states
They ought to be ashamed of themselves.
was heavily involved in this attack, and that they
They didn't do this with McCarthy, did they?
actions of Hamas.
And I'm saying it to Democrats, but Republicans do the same thing.
Resolution, of which I am an original co-sponsor and
Yeah.
strongly, as do many of us.
Just
This resolution
it's sad.
declares that Congress will stand with Israel. It reaffirms Israel's right
She's still
to
talking.
self-defense. It condemns
Yes.
Hamas and
That's what they
Iran,
do.
Yes, she's
and
still
calls on
talking.
the Biden administration to
It's
further
it's
impose
amazing,
sanctions on Iran.
amazing amount of words
With the support of
that
90
senators can
Yeah.
Once passed, this will
get
send
into
a
one
very
statement
almost unanimous
about
message
whatever it is
to the
that they wish
world
to
that acts of
push,
terrorism and
even if they
violence
must
will
repeat
not be
themselves
tolerated
2 or 3
or
times.
go
They
unpunished.
they
I've been
will
encouraged by President
spread their
Biden's response
narrative.
following the
I
attacks on
suppose
Israel.
one also has to
However,
appreciate the sound of one's
President
voice to be able
Biden's
to do
time in
something like
office
that.
has been defined by a level of, in my view, passiveness
And they all
and
stood up.
ambiguity
They all stood up and
that has
clapped that they
emboldened our
voted for
adversaries,
the other guy.
and it has lacked the strength
You know what I'm
that is
saying?
required of a superpower.
They
That's
think they
that
did
said,
great,
this is not the
patting
time
each other on the
to fall
back.
on ourselves.
And
One of our
I'm sorry,
strongest
but you should not be able to
allies
vote
is
for
under attack,
yourself. Jeffries
and a
should not be
nation
able
as
to say
strong as ours
Jeffries.
must display a united front,
I just
as
think it's a
well as
little
call
sad,
its
is
attacks
all.
on Israel exactly
This is
what they are,
America.
You voted for,
an
you
act
shouldn't
of
be
terrorism.
voting.
And that's where you
No
get your
doubt
hint on who
the
would
continued
be
assault on
your
Israel
your
creates a seismic shift in our
your pro
foreign
tempore,
policy.
who's
Just a few weeks
currently
ago
the
on this
House pro
very
tempore,
floor,
who's
I warned
currently
about the
McHenry
uneasy
is the guy that was
closeness
up to that had
cultivated
that gavel in his
between
hand.
our adversaries.
Nations
that shun
would
our
be the guy
values
that
and
most
reject
likely would be
democracy are finding
would
refuge. The uneasy
select.
closeness
You'd
is
be
cultivating
like,
between
I'd
our
nominate this
adversaries.
guy.
Nations that shun our values
Well,
and reject democracy are finding refuge with
Puffer
each other
Puffer can run for a
and stand in
representative,
direct
right?
opposition to our
She
ideals
can't run
and
for
our way of
president.
life.
She can
The connection between these
she can
countries,
run for president. Why can't she
Russia,
run for president?
China,
She's too
Iran,
young.
North Korea,
Oh,
cannot
oh,
be
you
ignored,
oh
Well, yeah.
and only
I
further
guess so.
underscores
But I
the
think she can
importance
run
of
for
strengthening
representative.
she's
our
got
own
another
military
what 15
capabilities.
years
We need to be
before she
providing
hits
military
35, right?
aid for Israel that will serve to
Maybe
not
it may
only
be longer than that.
reinforce our ally,
I think she's
but also
29.
invest directly back in our own defense. And we will serve to re-energize our defense industrial base
29.
by restoring the arsenal of democracy that defines our leadership as the United States of America. Moving forward, we must act decisively and lead in the way that America has done
So-
before in times of emergency and adversity. This is the United States of America, the
Professor Yard is
greatest
silly.
country on earth. We have the capacity and the obligation to defend our allies as they face
See, see
unjustified
how
attacks
honest she
from
is.
adversaries. These
She's
attacks
honest.
on Israel are brutal beyond
guys are funny.
comprehension and have led to the slaying, as I said before, of innocent families, women, children. It is incumbent upon us to show steadfast support for Israel and to reiterate how military aid from the
said she's
United States
32.
is in the best interest of both of our nations.
I
The
knew
world
that.
is
I just wasn't
watching
going to tell these two.
and expecting the United States to lead. Encourage my colleagues to recognize the magnitude of this moment, which many of us have been expressing here on the floor today.
32, I
Join
am.
together
32.
in our unwavering
32.
support of Israel. That I yield back.
Has my sound cut out again?
And 3/4.
Madam President, Senator from Iowa.
32 and 3/4.
I just returned from
I'm trying
a mission
to
the
make
Middle
it feel
East,
like he's
where I
helping you
had
or
the unique
something.
opportunity to lead a bipartisan delegation to the UAE, Saudi Arabia,
Now this lady here.
Bahrain, Jordan, and Israel. We had planned this visit long before the heinous attacks by
I don't
Iran-backed
know.
Hamas,
I find her very
with the
attractive.
goal of strengthening the Abraham
know.
Accords and our relationships in the region.
She thinks so, Squad?
In the UAE, I led a discussion with their
All
Crown
women are
Prince
attractive.
and
What are you talking
President
about?
about increasing cooperation cooperation between our two countries to further
Except for maybe
security,
that
peace,
Amber girl. She's
and
I don't know.
prosperity.
Which one?
I
The third
left
one.
feeling more determined than ever to intensify our efforts
Where's
to advance growth across the Middle East and beyond.
who's throwing
In
static?
Saudi Arabia, I met with Mohammed bin Salman, the Crown Prince and Prime Minister of the
Beautiful
kingdom.
dropped out. She'll be back.
During this visit, we discussed the prospect of an Israeli-Saudi peace deal to further
be
the
a
dream
Yeah,
of
just
a
fine.
I wouldn't want
thriving and
Puffer to be
integrated
corrupted.
Middle
That's for
East.
sure.
I'm back
The
again.
delegation left that very meeting optimistic
Can you hear me?
that the Crown
Yes.
Prince was dedicated
Okay.
and committed to this dream. A dream
I think you're back.
for many of us, like myself,
back,
who
yeah.
Was the
served in
static you?
region
Talking
Is
to
that what was
myself.
going on?
9/11. A
Probably,
dream
yeah.
that was rocked
okay.
the next
I was
morning
trying to
when we
communicate
heard the
from the
news
other side.
that Israel was at war once again. At this moment, there was no question.
So no,
what
you're
my
hearing from
bipartisan
Democrats and
delegation needed to
Republican
do.
senators
It was
saying
our
America
job
stands
to
with Israel.
ensure
So
our ally
Yeah.
Israel
as
understood
both
clearly
sides say that
that
they
America
stand with
is
Israel,
and will
other than
always
I'd
stand
like to
shoulder
actually hear
to
from.
shoulder with her.
Oh wait, there
Oh,
are
you see
none.
the crew.
Our
Are there
delegation
any
was briefed
really
at the
super
highest levels
socialist,
as we
far
completed our
left
visit in Saudi at the Prince Sultan Air
um,
Base, where we
I'll tell you right now who I blame.
Democrats
air and missile
that
defense
You want
systems
to
in
know who I blame?
something my
Who?
bipartisan Defend Act helped ensure.
Beautiful,
Who?
beautiful knows
We
who I
continued
blame.
into Bahrain the next morning to
Who
meet
did
with
It's
the
you
Crown
Britain's fault.
Prince and Prime
Oh,
Minister.
yeah.
It's all because
And
of
once
Britain.
again, a meeting that was intended to be
because Britain.
another step on the path to regional
I mean,
security took a very different
you're
Good old
not
turn.
Churchill.
lying, really. I mean, you look
The
at
Crown
history and you
Prince
look at where
provided
they,
his insight
what they did
into
to
the
people,
current
where they
situation in
put people, how
Israel
they did things to
and his
people,
assessment of
and
the
why,
causes and potential scale
whether it be
of
the
the
United
conflict.
States or
He
Australia
also spoke
or
of
Israel
Now,
the
or
peaceful
I know they
future
meant well. They
and
just didn't think
highlighted the
things through. I
long-standing
don't think.
relations between Bahrain and
I
America.
don't even know about
Noted
that, to
the
be fair.
history of bilateral
And you
ties
know what
If they
happened
meant
when
well,
after
it would.
the 6
to
Day War?
achieving
They should have Israel
mutual
should have given
aspirations.
Sinai not back to Egypt,
Our
but to
final stops in
Palestine.
Bahrain included
Make
the U.S.
Sinai a
Naval Support
Palestinian state.
Activity and Task Force 59,
Yeah,
which
but
integrates unmanned systems and
That
artificial
was
they have to
Carter's
do that.
fault,
intelligence to help
who was
ensure
in Georgia.
That's what I'm
maritime
saying.
security
It's
and
all
to deter Iran's
ridiculously
illegal
manipulated,
activities
and
in the Gulf.
the people are ridiculously manipulated,
The
and the
situation
average
in
person
Israel
doesn't know
continued
all
to
this stuff.
degrade, and I
So they're
made the
just going to say,
decision
"Oh, I stand
that
here,
we were
yeah,
ultimately
because
going
these are
to
the decisions
accomplish
that your
what we
country
set
has
out to
made
achieve.
along the way."
Despite all attempts
Ooh,
to stop us, I led our bipartisan delegation to Jordan
And
in
see if we made
preparation for a
beautiful a
cross-border
benevolent
drive
dictator,
into
she could,
Israel.
world leader, she could solve all
Upon our
this.
previously unscheduled arrival,
Give
yeah,
her
we
you
met
ultimate
with
my
His
power.
solutions.
Majesty King Abdullah II
Yeah,
of Jordan, where he
they wouldn't be
painted a
happy,
dire picture of regional
but they're not happy
escalation
now.
and the
I
need
saw
for
a map
stability
on
in the West Bank. He was
Twix.
open
It
and
was
honest
the
about
United
his concern
States,
that
with a
Iran
corner of
would
it
capitalize
being
on the
Israel.
chaos
That
by
was in
using their other
1947.
proxies
And
to
then
further
in
escalate the
a
conflict.
few decades
He
later,
discussed
it
the
was half
tensions
and
within
half.
Jordan
And
and the
then come
need for the U.S. to
2023,
once
the
again
US is in a small
lead
corner of
and
the US,
establish
and Israel
peace
has taken
through
over.
strength.
That's
The
what's
king's
happened
clear-eyed
over there,
insight into the
but
savage
it's okay.
nature of
If it was
Iran-backed
here, what
Hamas
would people be
was
doing? What would the
chilling,
response be?
and his concern for escalation was felt by every member of our delegation.
I always say it's like
It
having
was
a
clear that
house
what we were about
and
to
you
walk
have a
into
spare
was
room and
chaotic
you let
and
someone stay in your spare
uncertain,
room.
and not for the faint
Next thing you
of
know,
heart.
you're in the spare room and
But
they
in
have your
unity,
house.
our bipartisan delegation pressed on, and on October 10th, we set foot in Israel. We first met with Eli
Well, I
Cohen,
think
the
I
Minister of
think
Foreign
Egypt
Affairs,
and
and received an
Jordan
update on
especially
the
could have
war.
gone a long way
Here we heard
towards
for the first time the true
helping the
nature of
situation
the
out.
atrocities
It
that
didn't
the
have to
Hamas
come to this.
savages
It
were
wasn't this
conducting.
4 years, 4 years
Rape,
ago, 5 years ago.
beheadings, dragging
Now I
down
think you're going to
bodies
get all the Palestinians just wiped out.
and among those dead were American citizens.
That's not good for anybody. Nobody has
The
to
Israeli
die.
foreign minister made it very clear
No, I mean,
that the threat
Hamas did something, so you're telling the whole country evacuate because we were about to bomb the shit out of you. Sorry, boom the shit out of you. Talking about what's going on in flipping Israel right now.
And I couldn't agree more.
They've almost left them no choice but to annex the Gaza Strip.
Nothing short.
But that's what it's been coming to, and
We
it's
then spoke with the family
and next to
of
Gaza
Chaim
Strip. The Gaza
Perry,
Strip used to be the
an
country.
80-year-old peace activist and father of
I mean,
5 who was kidnapped from his
watching
home
somebody
during the
earlier,
invasion. We heard firsthand accounts of the
and
inhumanity of the attack.
basically the way he says
destruction of
it,
their home,
and he says it from the other side, is that that whole territory
ultimately
of what we call Israel, the whole territory, was all Palestine.
defending
That's what I'm saying.
It was before God gave it to
heard
Abraham.
the delegation carried on to Tel Aviv, where we met with opposition leader Lapid, the Minister of
But-
Strategic Affairs Ron Dermer, and
Because
ultimately
back for you to
Prime
go
Minister
by the
Benjamin
command of God to
Netanyahu.
another
We
nation.
heard increasingly
But it's
graphic
just like
Take them
America
over.
belongs.
and
America
mutilation
belongs
of
to Native
civilians.
Americans. Is America
And we
going to give it
ultimately
back?
witnessed a nation that was
No,
and is
but
truly
it's just complex, complicated, and is that probably why they stand with Israel? Because
against a
we're not much better.
psychopathic
Is that the
terrorist
situation? I don't know.
whose stated goal is
I
destruction
say the United
of
States
the
needs
state
to
of
stay out of it,
Israel and
no matter what.
killing
Yeah,
No matter what.
as
the
many
nation needs to
Jewish
stay out of it.
If it's going to continue to be a fight, let them fight.
Madam
Let them
President.
finish
They've
it
already
off. Let them
been-
continue
Let me
to.
tell you, there was
The
no
only thing that the United States ever does
between the
is joins in on the
factions
side
in
that they see is losing.
Israel on
I
what
mean,
needs to be done.
America has already paid for their defense system. Yeah, defense system, please. But yeah, all of that, like Ukraine, we want more. We need more.
But I think, and
But
maybe
then
rightly
also,
so,
the other side has been I can't say maybe rightly so in any of this. I just want them to stop. That's why instead of getting into the weeds of this, just how about stop? Oh, we can't be like that because well then in that case, you know what? I'll turn my back while they kill each other.
I think
If
America
there's
has always
we can't just
thought
put weapons down.
America has thought that if you have Israel
homeland.
against the Arabs,
With Americans still
Israel
being
will
held
lose.
hostage by Hamas and the death toll of our fellow citizens continuing to rise,
Israel
I think
gets
that's
more
a lot
from
of why
America
America is
financially than
involved.
America.
from our
They fund
elected
Israel
officials.
more than they fund the US.
Not only
Of course, they have
today,
to protect their
but in the coming
investments.
days and months as Israel fights to secure their most
Ugh.
basic human right, the right to life.
But you know, it's kind
You
of
say
like
that like the other side aren't humans. What are the other side? Aliens or some weird life
May
form.
God bless the families.
it's
who
kind of
have
like
lost
other territorial conflicts. You know, you got
And may
India
God
and
bless
Pakistan and China,
as she defends herself.
you know, all
Mhm.
fighting over the same
Hamas's
land.
brutal attack.
Yeah, but you can't dehumanize
I yield
the
the
side
floor,
that you
Madam
disagree with just because you disagree with them. They are still humans and they have as much rights as the people that they're fighting against.
I think everybody agrees, or ought to.
She just said that they're human and they have the right to defend themselves. Speaking of Israel, I'm like, okay, what?
Well, they have the
Okay.
right to live, I think.
Yes, they all do. And Palestine had a right to live in Palestine, not a corner of Palestine.
But I think one of the issues is that none of the Arab states were willing to recognize Israel as a legitimate state.
It was undeveloped, unused. No one was there. until Israel has put resources to it to make it
Yeah, it
flourish.
was a
I
piece
mean,
of wasteland. What about the
it
Palestinian
really was,
equivalent
but it's
of the
always been
Trail
the
of
most
Tears?
contested piece of land.
No,
They
but
lost.
no,
They
that's
lost
the
World
thing.
War II, and they should have accepted what the Allies arranged.
Seems like everybody always forgets about the Canaanites.
I rise today to
It's not
express
even
my
that,
total
Frog.
and
When
support
the
for the state of
1947
Israel.
situation happened,
On October 7th,
Palestine
Hamas
had
terrorists
their
launched an
equivalent of the
unprovoked and
Trail of
sequential
Tears.
series of
People
terrorist
were left.
attacks
People were forced to
inside Israel.
leave
The
Palestine
level of barbarism
and go
that
and
we
occupy
witnessed
the
was
other
nothing short
lands
of
around them.
evil
That's why
and
the
carnage.
other surrounding
The mass
territories are
slaughter
so
of
involved because they are native to Palestine as well.
unspeakable violence against women, children, and the elderly. The
They
deadliest
were forced to
massacre of the
leave.
Jewish people since the Holocaust. These crimes against humanity were also
They took
visited
place
upon
the Jews.
our American citizens as well.
But you know,
At
as I
last count,
said,
30
I've got a
Americans were
house.
murdered by
I let you
Hamas
stay in my
and others
spare
are
room.
currently
Next thing I know, I'm in my spare room,
pray
and
for
you've got my
comfort
house,
for the
and that's
families of
okay.
those who were killed. And we
All
continue
right.
to pray and work for the safe return of those who were
Yeah, no, I'd
unjustly
be like,
held by the terrorists.
no,
Compounding these atrocities is the
get out,
reaction in some
get out of my
parts of the
motherfucking
world,
house.
and even here in our own land, like the sickening
And that's where we are
anti-Semitic
right now, but we're not allowed to
protests
say it. Those are God's chosen people. So you're telling me that everyone else is shit then because these are God's chosen people.
Justified, and they endorsed this violence. Simply put, there can be
Okay.
no place
As
in
I
our
said,
country
I don't agree with
for
any of it.
anti-Semitic bigotry. But we have also seen some politicians, some who work in this very capital, express a cynical moral ambiguity, blithely declaring that both sides are at fault.
I am still here.
Explaining away the motives of the terrorists
Kind of.
while preaching restraint from the nation that we
You okay?
So, to those that need a reminder, there's a stark difference.
I love everybody.
between
That's
the two
why I'm
sides
so
here.
annoyed at the fact that
Israel is the Middle East's only
come,
democracy.
it is this, still
They've been
is
a force
this.
for stability
It
in
should
a
never
region
have been
historically
this.
beset by chaos. And they've been one
Yeah,
of
there's
America's
wars all over
strongest
the
friends in
world and
good
people are
times
for each other
and
all
in
the
bad.
time. And I know, it doesn't
When
make it
faced
right.
with attacks, they go out of their way to avoid civilian casualties.
You can't keep doing the same
sometimes at the
shit and then
cost of
expect
their own
something
Israeli
different. Same
lives.
shit.
Israel is an unmistakable force for good. And then you have the terrorists of Hamas. Their founding charter calls for the destruction of the state of Israel. Their largest benefactor, Iran, lends its material and financial support.
I can show you
to this
videos
cause
of the
their destruction
Israeli
each
people
and every day.
chanting in the streets,
And they
death to the
intentionally
Muslims
target
and
civilians. They fire
Palestinians.
rockets into crowded markets.
Old
And it
ladies,
treats the sort of
grandmas.
hate that triggered the
But yeah,
Holocaust.
cool.
Make no mistake.
How do you know they're
The only
Israelis?
word
They were
to
draped in
describe
the
all this
flags.
is evil. And unlike the Holocaust,
Well, that place has always been a
even
hotbed of
beyond Hamas,
controversy.
we've seen it with our
That's
own
why
eyes.
I'm saying none of it's right. Just
Evil
put
is
down the
surrounding
weapons
a
and actually people.
music festival full
Be
of
people.
innocent young people
Stop
and
looking at each other as
systematically
animals and
hunting them
less
down
than.
and slaughtering them
That's
on
how
the
we
side
end
of
up
the
in
road.
this
That's
shit.
evil. Evil is kidnapping elderly women out of their homes and threatening on the internet to murder them. And evil is
These
beheading and
elderly
burning
women are
babies
also on the internet threatening to kill
in front of their
Muslims.
mothers and fathers.
I'm giving you side. I'm giving you the other. Do not shoot the
The line
messenger.
between morality and
So,
depravity
so you know, in Israel's calling, you know, Hamas out straight directly for what it is, and saying
not avoid
that
the
that they're
reality
that they're Yazis.
good.
You know, so I mean, they're pointing straight at him, and they're calling them out for what they are. They're
This
now
was
they're
is
just looking at
before
this
this.
here. It says that they've actually spoke with German Chancellor
Disservice to our
Olaf
credibility,
Scholz
and we stand
and told him that they
We must
believe
stand shoulder to shoulder
that
with the state of
Hamas
Israel. We must
is
provide them with
the
everything
next
that they
group,
need to
the new
secure
ones, the
safety of
new
their nation.
Yazis.
Oh, we're
It's
just
like,
going to ignore Zelensky and his crew then. Okay.
So I call
My
on the Biden
gosh.
administration
but right,
Selective bullshit.
to the
right.
forces
We're so ignorant when it comes to the other side of the story, because when we look at Ukraine,
If our
and
side's
and
doing
we're
it,
okay
it's
with it.
okay.
We're okay with backing the wrong
Yeah.
side.
not fail.
Yeah. Oh my god. That's why I don't want any part of it. Makes me sick.
There's no way to make pass right. Israeli people give their place. We're given the place to be out of and away from everyone. People are paid to relocate. They were not shot at, beaten, whipped, or killed to go.
Madam President.
The senator from North Dakota.
Comparing that to the Trail of Tears is awful. It's an atrocity. I mean, I don't know if that's really the same thing, is it?
I said, okay, never mind. That's why I keep my mouth quiet. That's why I shut up, because I just can't. Yeah, never mind.
No.
Exactly that. No.
Is it the
I'm not
same
gonna.
thing?
I'm really not
Because
gonna.
I'd like to hear
I
why
said
you
I
think-
didn't, because I've seen videos of the lines of people that were leaving flipping Palestine, leaving to create the space that the Israelis that the Israelis originally occupied.
And united for our friend and ally Israel. Here in
But
Congress,
yeah,
there is
you're not allowed to talk. I think it's called the kibbutz or something like that.
against Hamas.
I can't remember how it's
What does
spelled.
that mean? What
But
does that
people aren't allowed to
mean?
talk about
Oh, yeah,
it.
the-
It's
the
taboo.
kibbutz, yeah.
It means providing military aid.
That's what I'm on
Of
about.
course, it means providing diplomatic.
But yeah, I'm exaggerating. I'm not
No, I
stupid.
I get your point. I mean, it's
Legislation from the Foreign Relations Committee under
Never mind.
the leadership of Chairman Cardin and Ranking Member Risch.
it makes sense.
The Senate's support for Israel against terrorism. But today's
Yeah,
standing
how dare I? Because these are only up.
standing
Yeah,
against the largest state sponsor of
I
terrorism
mean,
in
it's
the world, and that is Iran.
it's all wrong. I never said any of it was right.
No, it's right. It's all wrong.
Such a
Every
Hadn't
last
happened in the
bit
first
of it.
place, but this
Many
is
of my
what
colleagues
has
and
gone
I
on.
have warned for years that giving money to Iran, letting Iran sell oil, and giving Iran access to weapons would destabilize the entire region. And sure enough, over the last decade, we have watched Iran extract concessions in one negotiation after another while creating chaos in Yemen and Syria, in Lebanon and beyond. And now we see the hand of Iran behind Hamas and this horrific assault on Israel. So we must do all we can to support Israel, to help Israel defend itself and ensure that it doesn't suffer another attack like this at the hands of Hamas. But also to we must undercut Iran's ability to work through its proxies like Hamas and Hezbollah that pose such a danger to the Israeli people.
You notice now all of a sudden it's like, oh,
To the Iranian regime,
we don't no need to talk about Ukraine.
infrastructure of terror across the Middle East.
Very little said
Iran must be cut off.
because now, all eyes on this particular situation.
Access to following negotiations over the release of U.S. citizens from Iran. I am part of the legislative efforts to do just that, including bills from Senators Cotton and Senator McConnell, as well as legislation authored by Senator Marshall and Senator Tim Scott. Ultimately, we must return to a policy of maximum pressure, severe sanctions, maximum pressure that holds Iran accountable for its actions. Its actions as the largest state sponsor of terror in the world. This means a return to the sanctions without waivers. This means leading a global effort to isolate Iran, choke off its sources
Treated
of financing,
poorly
and deny the
is
regime
by
the
their own
resources
government.
required
Agreed to exchange that the government was paid
every effort to recognize
crap
the
ton of
rights
money
and
for.
freedoms of the people of Iran, including the right of the Iranian people to choose their own future. We must take these steps.
So, you know,
It was all done
originally,
football and everything, wasn't it? Excellent.
right?
To ensure that we provide strong,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I
You're
didn't
good.
realise that Palestine gave up all of that country just to end up in that small corner. I didn't realise that they been paid that much for the whole
But it's
country.
it's
You know what I
it's
mean?
the,
Never
it's
mind.
the Muslim people that are there pretty much that are running, you know, that are Palestine, right?
We need to exert maximum
Right.
Yes.
26 other countries
waiver.
around the world
Unrelenting pressure on Iran help
have
Israel,
massive
the United
amount
States
of
provides the
people
best chance for
that are
minimizing
just that.
bloodshed, both down in the
Listen,
future.
they have plenty of places to go. They all have plenty of places to go. No, I mean, I don't understand the whole ordeal with this particular slice of land.
They'll just be like more
Thank you, Madam
Palestinians. Okay.
President. I come here to join my colleagues to talk about the events of the past 10 or so days in Israel and the horrible attacks. I want to talk a little bit about
I agree, Lisa.
that I've made there over the past year or so, the most recent one back in February. But I want to start with holding our members accountable
don't like
here
any of
on
it.
Capitol Hill. Now,
And let me just say, you know, I talked about Britain earlier. Let me just say to Britain's credit, the Jews all over the world suffered monstrously for so very long. And giving them a homeland was a great thing that Britain did.
that was within an hour or two of the bombing, before we knew anything. Before any of us could have possibly had a secure briefing.
But yes, Lisa, yes, I did. We did cover Trudeau
Before we could go down to the skiff and
plotting that Yahtzee.
that statement was made. Now you'd think that
It just, it's the ignorance level is so
appalling.
out.
If that member of Congress wants to take responsibility for the protests that we now
When
see
it suits
on the road,
them.
good on you.
But I can't have a strong line because no one else is holding a strong line.
Sort of
But
leadership or failure of leadership has no place on Capitol Hill. Now I want to talk about why I think Hamas is evil and why Iran's a part of this and why this is not surprising that the very details of this attack took place.
Okay, so
Earlier
I'm
this
gonna.
year in February, I was in, well, let me back up. A couple of years ago, I was in Israel and we
Please
went down
start
to
the
the
other.
Gaza Strip. We saw a tunnel head. We actually walked in to a tunnel that was discovered by the
They took
Israelis.
it
We went
down.
to a Patriot battery or an Iron Dome battery that every day is prepared to shoot down missiles because it almost happens before this attack. It happens almost on a daily basis.
They took
I've
down
literally been in Israel when I'm having
the
lunch
Iran thing or whatever. So it must have only been if
asking somebody to pass a plate of food, a bomb goes off.
they had
People living in this kibbutz did not
selected
even
a
miss beat.
speaker.
Every day they have to live with this stuff. So now down in Gaza, we see the trail, the tunnel system that's in Gaza. If you go north to the Lebanese border, you will see an entire network of tunnels that the Israelis identified just in time. It had been a project that was estimated to be 10 years in the making, funded by Iran. Hezbollah is in Lebanon. Hamas is down in Gaza Strip. They had developed these tunnel networks and they were prepared to do the same thing in northern Israel that we saw in southern Israel over the past week and a half. And they even want to design this to strike fear and terror in the Israeli people. They want them to think, they want their children to think that they're going to pop out of the ground and kidnap them and kill their parents. This is a part of the terror that they want the Israeli people to live in every single day. And the Iranians were absolutely responsible for funding Hamas to build that tunnel network in northern Israel. And they do the same thing with Hamas in southern Israel. Ladies and gentlemen, first off, this has to end. Let's work with facts. And if Israel doesn't abide by the rules of war, then we should hold them accountable. But what we're finding out now from additional intelligence sources is that it does appear as though this was not an Israeli strike, that it was probably a failed missile launch from Hamas. We'll let the facts lead where they may. But
And that's the interesting one is as I covered last night was the hospital. It failed rocket of their own hit their own hospital. They're trying to shoot over the hospital, and for whatever reason took out their own, but tried blaming it on Israel as Israel's problem.
They have to be held accountable. Their funder has to be held accountable. Their strategists in Iran have to be held accountable. And we in the United States have to stand by Israel and by freedom-loving Palestinians.
I don't get why we need to stand by them.
Members of the Middle East. But we cannot let this go. We cannot let this evil go unchecked. And we have to stand by as
Let them
well.
deal with
We
their
have
own
to
evil.
Make sure that we do everything we can to educate the American
I
people.
don't want
on
to deal
the
with their
facts
evil.
And disabuse
Why do
them
we
of
have
any
to take it out of our
notion that this
pocket?
congressional member or anyone else has any place in
Who else is protecting Israel?
American people and across the world.
Just the United
And the
States?
violence that can come
Seems
from
to
making
be.
people believe that, they have to own. Thank you, Madam President.
So I watched a girl yesterday, or a woman yesterday, that was at that festival that got hit by the Hamas, and she was saying that as she was with her group, they saw the sorry, I'm in some pain. Saw the rockets going overhead. They their friends are like, she got it really, because she's from America and she was there for a wedding, and she got kind of freaked out over it. And they're like, oh, don't worry about it. This happens all the time. So she was like, everybody was all cool and chill and relaxed about it. Even though we saw these rockets going overhead. And it took some time before they realized what was really going on. And she, so it's kind of like people, it reminds me of people down in the South with tornadoes. A lot of people are like, oh, tornadoes, whatever. Because you're always getting sirens and stuff like that for tornado until it actually touches the ground. Do
Senator
people
from
actually
Connecticut.
pay attention?
Thank you,
So
Madam President.
kind of makes me
Today,
think of that.
Our fellow citizens, our way of life, our very freedom came under attack in a series of deliberate and deadly terrorist attacks. Thousands of lives were suddenly ended by evil, despicable acts of terror. These acts of mass murder were intended to frighten our nation into chaos and retreat. These are the words of former President George W. Bush speaking to the nation on the evening of September 11th, 2001. But they could have been repeated word for word by Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu in the wake of the heinous terrorist attacks by Hamas that left more than 1,400 dead in Israel on October 7th. As Americans, we
So
know
if this territory
of living
was originally
through the mass
Palestine
murder of our fellow
in
citizens in a shocking
19 whatever
terrorist attack.
47,
Overcome with these
they go ahead and
intertwined feelings
get
of
told this
insecurity
is their land, this is where they're being called back to, and here you go. This is your, make it yours.
and retribution. A need to
So then,
reconcile our
Israel's,
universe by making the perpetrators of these crimes pay a heavy
Yeah,
price.
standby does mean money.
And we know that even as the impulse to
I
avenge
just-
may subside, there remains a need to deter, to show
out of all the military might, the couple of aircraft carriers and all of their
9 days after September 11th,
traveling vessels, as well as a couple others that just so happen to be there, a couple thousand Marines. I mean,
Yeah, it's coming out of your pocket.
the United States moved swiftly to mobilize the support of the international community
just
and the overwhelming capability of the
going
United States
flatten,
to destroy Al Qaeda and wrest control of Afghanistan.
flatten, Gaza Strip, whatever, just take it out. It's, I mean,
Neither America's security nor the moral order of the world could have been preserved if the Taliban remained in power.
doesn't seem like there's going to be too many people left anyway. I had seen a couple things coming out of people that were siding with the Palestinians, and not everybody when you look at them would be as you would expect them to look. I think we get. I think we all kind of look at people just slightly different than what we really should. They're like, oh, from that territory, from that region, the people are going to be, darker colored skin, and it's not true. It's not true. There's an awful lot of quote unquote white people that live in the area. A lot of them. And when you see even those on the other side that just so happen to come through, there's a young lady from the other day that was saying that all of the tubs of that they store water in, all of them were empty. She couldn't wash her hair. She hadn't washed her hair for 3 days. Well, has she had something to drink? Because if she hadn't had something to drink, the fourth day should not be alive. You got to have something to drink. You can't go without drinking something. Water usually is the best.
Yeah, you can't.
Washing your hair is
Body.
Right, it is.
Dry
It is.
shampoo.
And these are the ones that are on the other side of this or whatever that aren't getting anything. They're being restricted. They're being restricted by those from the other from Israel. Israel's restricting them, cutting them off from the stuff that they need.
Yeah.
That we learned from our response to September 11th and the successive 2 decades.
Is that really humane for Israel to do such a thing to them?
We need to admit that we
Yeah, it was a bad deal. It was a bad deal for Hamas to attack Israel. I'm all for protecting Israel.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But
and the decapitation of our enemy. We had a day one strategy, but
Right, it's a big but. You really have to seriously think about it. You can't. There's things that you can do, and there's things that you can't do. It's like sending cluster bombs to Ukraine.
how it would be accomplished.
Bad acts of war.
Now, let me be clear. The challenge Israel faces from Hamas
Things that
is
you just shouldn't do.
really important ways from the Al-Qaeda
And
threat
you
to
know
the United
when
States.
you
And the lessons of America's global counterterrorism.
when you see the amount of military force getting ready to come push their way through the area from the United States, as the United States, you hear every single person from Republican, Democrat, both sides of this are all pretty much Israel.
Exists right next door.
Haven't heard anything about
America had no experience in or with Afghanistan before
anybody really backing
So for Israel,
Hamas
they
quite
don't
yet.
matter. They have an intimate history.
Now,
That
would
history
they?
impacts the effectiveness
Sure.
of
Why wouldn't they? Shiloh Mang.
Distinction
What's
is the
up?
disposition of the enemy. Hamas is not hiding in caves in the Tora Bora. They're both a military
Jimmy.
entity and a political entity. They live in
Jimmy was
tightly
here
packed
early.
corridor that's
You
home
might
to
be a
more
little
than 2
behind.
billion people, many of them having nothing to do with Hamas. So
Might
there's
be a little
no perfect
behind.
comparison between Afghanistan and Gaza, but there are
Um,
enough similarities that we should be confident in sharing with our friends.
So now he's
the
comparing
lessons
stuff to
that we learned, the
Afghanistan.
mistakes we made, mistakes that Israel could avoid. The first of those mistakes was lacking a realistic conception of success.
Which I think Afghanistan in itself, I don't think you can compare this to Afghanistan yet. You have to wait another 19 years, I think.
But after 20 years of fighting, of raids, of targeted strikes, we finally came to terms
Just
with a
saying.
really harsh reality. Our tactics were often producing more terrorists and insurgents than they
We were in
eliminating.
Afghanistan an awful long time.
Far too cavalier about civilian casualties and the humanitarian cost of our pursuit of the Taliban, and it ended up simply making the Taliban stronger. Today, Israeli leaders talk about totally eliminating every last Hamas fighter. It is an understandable objective, given the terror.
Beautiful having connection issues.
But is it realistic?
YouTube put me in the middle of the stream. Nice. Caught up.
But a political entity that administers territory.
Good stuff. Good
Is
stuff.
there a risk
Good to
of
see
our
you.
fate in Afghanistan, creating more terrorists than we eliminated, repeating in Gaza? Another mistake
That's
we
who
made in
I'd like to
Afghanistan
talk
was
to.
believing that every proposal we put down on paper could, through
Shiloh
sheer
Mang.
force of American will, become a
I want her
reality on the
opinions and their thoughts on some
We
of
drew up a
this.
viable plan to replace the Taliban's kleptocratic.
She hasn't talked to me since I asked her about that the other day.
Democracy, but Afghanistan was not a fit for that plan, and our plan, which looked good on a PowerPoint, was destined to fail.
Hi, Charlemagne.
Was an achievable.
How are you, lovely lady?
Eventually, 20 years later, settled on was
Silly you
eliminating
two.
Al Qaeda's ability to attack the United States and creating the political conditions on the ground in Afghanistan so that Al Qaeda would never.
Yeah, there was nothing like massively huge or anything that you needed to listen to from the Senate to hear. We did listen to Jim Jordan fail to take the seat.
Jeffries got it.
Well, he didn't. Nobody took it.
Hamas administers Gaza. So
Oh, they still got the third one to do, don't they?
takes their place. Does
Yeah.
Israel
That's right.
reoccupy
I forgot
Gaza
about
in the
that.
long run
And
and run
they-
Gaza directly?
sounds like they
That
went home
would
for the
seem
day.
like a
So
recipe for perpetual conflict.
Must be
Or
nice.
we'll imagine that the
I'm gonna
West
get paid a few thousand,
Palestinian Authority steps
thousands of dollars to sit here and say,
I won't go into a full analysis,
Jordan,
but there are very few Middle
Jeffries,
East watchers
you can.
who bet that that is a long-term viable arrangement. Some Israeli leaders suggest that the question of the future status of Gaza are matters to be addressed after Israel has, quote, won the war.
So, you know, as far as this goes, you know, yes, we're listening to senators and what they have to say about this particular act, but nothing, absolutely nothing can be done right now, as you need a Speaker of the House.
Occupation.
You need a
There isn't
Speaker of the House.
satisfactory answer to these questions, then the
They
military
need to set rules, and then and only then can you start doing things, passing bills, doing
make no
anything.
mistake,
You know, the Senate can do certain things, like do this,
its time
but they can't
need.
really.
with funding.
There's nothing that's going to really be able to be passed. They're not going to be able to fund anything. They're not going to be like, oh yeah, we need to fund something.
There are
What's up, Captain? Have fun.
that can be drawn. Not
Hi, Captain. Have fun.
parallels, but important lessons that can be drawn from both our successes
Just been busy
and
with
our failures.
work. It's been hard for
We
me
had
to
to-
talk about
We
that
had to take
stuff
out the
when I'm
Taliban. It was the
happy
only
in
way
the
to
future.
square the moral universe.
Whenever you want, whenever you're ready.
Israel must destroy their military capabilities. It is the only way to restore the balance of the moral universe. But supporting Israel also means helping them from our successes and our failures, and to not reflexively repeat the same mistakes we made 20 years ago. Friends support friends, but friends also level with friends. You get the floor.
Friends support friends, but friends will also level with friends. Well, of course they will. I mean, not lying, but what is it that you're getting at? What?
And it seems they're all agreeing that destruction is the only solution.
Madam President.
Senator from
Yep.
Indiana.
Unfortunately.
And they all have a few $20, whatever, to make a
Children of
poster board.
Israel have known persecution and sorrow. They've lived in exile,
Every single last one of them.
enslavement. They've faced bigotry and violence. Entire nations and civilizations have
Captain Heflin says a house without a speaker is like a court without a judge.
and against all
I mean,
millions of their descendants gathered together in the Holy Land and founded
Captain, have fun. It's cats and dogs living together.
vibrant democracy in the Middle East
Basically, the worst parts of the Bible.
the United States of America.
Mm-hmm.
Many people of faith would say the existence and perseverance of the state of Israel is itself evidence of divine providence. Yet even today, Israel faces existential threats. On October 7, Hamas terrorists carried out the worst attack on the Jewish people since the Holocaust. The slaughter of 1,400 people.
You know, both Israelis and Muslims believe in Satan.
The execution of grandmothers.
And they're monotheistic. They believe in God.
Including children, women,
One
seniors,
God.
and American citizens. 30
They're from the same family.
murdered.
Yep.
30 Americans.
Abrahamic religions.
Many of our fellow citizens have friends and family in Israel. Regardless of our faith, we're all, I know, heartbroken for the loss, sickened by the cruelty. And on behalf of the Hoosiers I represent, I want to express my deepest condolences to the people of Israel as they mourn and pray and bury the dead. As it has since its founding, against alliances of far larger nations and armies, this country, which is 4 times smaller than Indiana, will defend itself. And America will be here for Israel and support its right to confront
this
violence, this barbarism. We'll do this because our values are the same: dedication to liberty and order, to tolerance, and to human dignity.
We may not get a budget till China gets paid.
The days ahead will be difficult. As members of this body know too well, Israel is still under threat.
Right, exactly. There's so much that goes along with this right now. There's nobody getting paid. 0 people are getting paid on anything. Muslims are awesome. The Palestinians are death cult. Good luck preaching love and harmony to them.
Up is real. Over the past several days, I've been heartened by the strong bipartisan support in the United States Senate for the people of Israel. During this time of peril, this body cannot succumb to isolationism. We cannot abandon Israel any more than we can abandon our friends in Ukraine or Taiwan. On urgent matters of national security, we're stronger when we stand together. And in difficult days ahead, we'll work to support the people of Israel. I know we'll continue that spirit.
Will we?
Relatedly, I call on the Biden administration to consult and closely
We'll keep
work
the spirit,
with this Congress
but
to
will we be successful?
quickly fulfill any urgent Israeli requests for assistance and do all we can to fully support Israel. Now,
It seems like we've been
the
fighting
Constitution of the United States
this group
lays
called
out
Hamas
our responsibilities.
for
Congress has an important
And
constitutional
Hezbollah.
role in determining how the United States will
a long
respond
time. For a
to
long
any
time.
additional acts of aggression.
A lot of these little groups
As we
of,
support and stand with our allies, we also must be crystal clear
I mean,
about what is happening.
they have a massive
Attacks on the
population.
people of Israel, orchestrated by Hamas, were barbaric, depraved. They were evil.
There's no way.
Long supported by the Iranian regime, Hamas's stated
Just go
mission
flatten, guys.
is to
Just do it.
destroy the Jewish
Flatten it.
people. That's right. At the core of Hamas burns an age-old sickness: anti-Semitism. It was a twisted inspiration for their massacre.
Yeah, Captain. There's certain things that we can't talk about, because
Horrific.
YouTube don't like it.
Ideology liberates not a single life. Instead, tragically, it will cost only more, including those
Everyone
of
has to
innocent
still go
Palestinian
home.
civilians.
We need to close border
The past 15
ASAP.
years, many
Same
peacekeeping
guys
Palestinians in
are
Gaza
here.
have had their lives
border.
upended and
Yep.
exploited
They're here. They've been
by
here.
the Hamas terrorist group. We acknowledge their suffering. We hope for change. Those in our media, on our college campuses, or even
That's why they
those
called for
serving in
violence.
government who ascribe to the
That's why they
actions
called for
of
violence
Hamas
back on the
and
13th.
anything else other than hatred.
It's because they know that they have enough
Those
people
who are so
everywhere.
quick to decry injustices elsewhere, but place murder and rape in some sort of perspective. Those who provide context for savagery. Those who sigh that both sides are equally guilty. To all of you, I say you're providing cover for monsters. The worldview of Hamas must be added to the roll call of evil ideologies that failed to destroy the Jewish people. And that is why we must stand with Israel. That is why. But that alone is not enough. You see, the murder of thousands of Jews brought reminders of the Holocaust.
Each and every single one.
And echoes
I mean,
of
nothing
Russian
else going on.
And so many centuries of
Has to be
trials
something else
and
going on.
tragedies. So we must also stand vigilant against and always oppose anti-Semitism, wherever it appears, whatever movement it's attached to,
See,
whatever banner it marches underneath.
it's just so upsetting. The whole reason that we even went live to begin with
Echo
was
the old
because of the
prayer sung
whole
across synagogues for the Jewish people.
went as early as I could, as quick as I
May God
could.
have mercy on them.
Right? You did a good job.
And
You did a good job.
Jim Jordan,
to release,
the whole Jim Jordan thing
from
is
darkness to light,
disturbing.
from subjugation to redemption.
It's disturbing.
Now speak.
Absolutely no reason.
And soon.
No reason whatsoever that he shouldn't have gotten the position. I mean, why are we walking away from the house each and every single time somebody doesn't get it? They don't have long. They really don't have long. If they think that they can sit there and play these games, they're going to have problems.
Are they just trying to get paid more money for drawing it out
They
longer?
don't. They're not going to get paid either, because they only have a preliminary bill up there for 45 days. The preliminary bill for 45 days that allowed them to continue to run government. For Gates to go ahead and throw the wrench in and say, here you go. Let's take out the speaker. Now what are you going to do? You got 45 days to get a speaker in place, to set the rules, and then you can proceed to do anything at all. And the first thing you need to do, very first thing you need to do is you need to have a bill ready before we even walk in there. There needs to be a bill ready that's going to pay the bills. The reason that they're on the 45-day wait anyway. There's so much going on right now, and they're just kind of like ignorantly just being like, yeah, well, okay, we'll wait till tomorrow then. No. Get your asses back in there. Put up another vote. Let's go. You got to select somebody. You need to pay your bills. You're not going to pay your bills? Oh, I wonder why. Because there's people that are upset because they're not getting paid.
Madam President, I ask unanimous consent the Senate recess from 3:30 p.m. until 5 p.m. to allow for the all senators briefing.
Without objection.
Now, Mr. President,
It's only
the
2:30.
slaughter of over 13.
Madam President, we have an
hell is
issue
that?
in Louisiana.
What?
I wouldn't call it a problem that I would like to talk about.
Huh?
Perhaps some of our sister states can learn from our struggles in my state.
I think they're going to play a clip and they played the wrong thing.
And the issue
It's just
is
C-SPAN messed
education. I
up.
can't think of a more important subject. That's the future of my state. I think it's true in many other states.
This guy cannot speak more slowly.
I believe that Louisiana's
No, he really
future
can't.
can be present
He
better than
really
its present or its
could
past.
probably lose himself in a
but key
thought.
to determining whether that's going to be the case or
Within-
not is education.
one sentence
And I'm talking
several
specifically
times.
about elementary and secondary education. Because that's what counts. It's not, in my state, it's not the price of oil. It's not what the unemployment rate is.
What is the tax of
It's not who the
Rocket
United
took out a
States
mango
senator is.
tree.
It's not who the governor is.
my great grandmother's
education.
backyard in Israel?
Pre-K to 12.
Not for the tree.
And it's frustrating, I know.
The rocket could have hit our house.
You know, we can, Americans can do
Palestinians
extraordinary things.
launched rockets with no
We can
concern.
unravel the human genome.
This is cat and half fun.
We can take a diseased human heart and replace it with a brand new one and make that thing beat. We can send a person to the moon. But we struggle. We in
Did we?
America struggle, and we in Louisiana struggle to teach our children how to read and write and do basic math when we have 18 years to do it. I'm not blaming anyone, but we all share the frustration.
I love this
And it's
man.
not just Louisiana, it's all across America. I understand that.
Grandpa Kennedy.
But decades ago in Louisiana, we made a decision. In fact, it was during my first job in government. I was working as legal counsel to a brand
What, did you
new
hear that?
reform governor in Louisiana. And he
Is my sound
decided
gonna
in
go?
Louisiana, people of Louisiana.
No, we heard you.
Okay.
I heard
I
you,
was just
sweetheart.
checking.
Grandpa Kennedy.
Number one, every
Yeah.
child can learn. Now, some it
If I
takes
like
some
it, I got a
little bit
nickname
longer.
for you.
I
Kids
mean,
mature at different times. But
he is an
every
interesting
child
fellow
can
for
learn.
sure.
And the
He comes
second
out with
thing
some
that we
wise
agreed
words
on
and the way he words things.
was
It's
this:
like, yeah, Grandpa.
that which is measured
got that grandpa
gets
energy.
done. That which is measured gets done. We decided to implement 30 years ago standards for our elementary and secondary schools. One of those standards was, and I think still is, that's the subject of my remarks today, I hope it still is, a graduation exam. We call it our graduation exit examination 21, GEE. So if I say GEE or G, I'm talking about our graduation exam.
Oh, gee.
We said we're going to get serious about kids. We can't have our children graduate if they can't read their diploma. And so we're going to test them. The test is not terribly rigorous. It's 4 subjects. It's English, it's math, it's science, and it's social studies. And we grade those exams, and you don't have to pass all 4. You've got to pass English and math, and then either social studies or science. So really 3 out of 4. The grades, there are 5 different grades: advanced, mastery, basic, approaching basic, and unsatisfactory. Let me tell you what that really means. A, B, C, D, and F. Okay? You only have to make a D on your graduation examination. I'm sorry.
His cricket went off.
You
His
only
cricket
have
went
a
off.
D. Not an A, not a B, not a C, a D. You take 4 exams. You've got to make a D on English, a D on math, and
So-
at least a D on either social studies or science.
60%.
And if you don't pass, we'll give you another chance. But you've got to pass to get a diploma. And now, our Board of Elementary and
It's a A, B, C, D, and
Secondary
F. Pay
Education, we call
attention,
it DESE,
son. Now who's
which
calling me?
governs elementary and secondary education in Louisiana, has decided to take us back to the dark ages.
by a one-vote margin, supported, quite frankly, by
Our children are dumb
my
because
governor,
there's too much BS in the schools. No, you're not
who is
wrong,
lame
Lisa.
duck. He'll be
There's a
leaving
lot
this
of bullshit that's being
He
fed
makes
to our
3
children in the
appointments to the
schools.
Board of Elementary
That's why I took my notes.
Teaching things like CRT as opposed
and
to
everybody in America is
teaching
entitled
what's
to their opinion,
necessary,
but I think my
or
governor
teaching
and the
somebody
state
how
of
to
Oklahoma,
identify
they're going to send us back to
is
the
another
dark days.
unnecessarily
Here's the
feat.
new
You know,
rule.
for us to
You have to pass
for us
the
to
graduate
continue to
exit examination in the way I
think that
just described, unless
we
you
need
fail.
to teach
And then you've got to go to your teacher.
something
and
that
he
only
or she
affects
can give you
about
an
2
extra
3%,
point.
not even 2%
Come on.
of the population.
Come on. Who
To
are we
be
kidding?
sympathetic to them.
Now, why do some want to
I
do
mean,
this?
okay,
It's not
do
the kids
you.
who want to do this, it's the adults.
but don't
Because
do
not only do we
you
grade our kids,
while
we grade
forcing
our
you
schools.
onto my children
And
or
if
anybody
schools
else's children.
have kids that don't pass the
Don't do it.
GED, the graduate exit examination, it
Don't do it.
counts against the
So,
grade
I mean,
of the
there's,
school.
there's a lot of things you can do, a lot of things that
This
you
is all
should
coming
not do.
from the adults.
And that's when
They're
you say
putting
the
themselves
BS
first.
is exactly
not
that, the
putting
BS.
The kids first.
Teaching trans stuff,
This is a
teaching
massive
teaching
step This is an
CRT,
announcement
shit that's
to the rest of
unnecessary
America that Louisiana has given up.
and it's hurting,
That our kids are not smart enough,
indoctrinating
they're not
our
good enough,
children.
even when we give them second or third chances, to be able to get a D
Yeah, a lot
on the
of parents
graduate
are
exit
ill-equipped.
examination.
Thank goodness.
And as a result,
I'm not
we
one,
have
and I
got to
always
give
was
them
putting in
a
extra effort with my
special
child at
extra
home while he
points
was in school.
project so they can get a
So,
diploma that's not really
you
a
know,
diploma.
Oh my goodness.
The people behind this ought to hide their
If I
You know,
wasn't
back in
competent enough, I'm sure his father would have said no.
Our kids are better than that.
back in
Every
my
one of
day,
my
we got
kids
to
in
blame
Louisiana
the
can
lead
learn.
and leaded
Sometimes
gas.
they need a little bit longer. But it's not going to do them
Yeah,
any
oh, that's
good
not so
to give
good.
them a diploma
Unleaded
that
gas
they
Dropped
can't
the
it dropped the
best.
IQ
And it's not going to
across
give them,
America
do
by
them
about
any
10
good to give
points.
them a diploma that the
And
rest
the
of
UK,
America and
that was the
frankly
best
the world
stuff.
is
I
going to
hated
look
when they
at
banned it.
and go, that's not really a high school diploma.
The gas station didn't
Because
spell
we
the
know
same.
that you failed the exam. You just got
Pumping gas
extra
wasn't as much fun anymore.
the points project so the adults wouldn't look bad. I'm embarrassed by this.
Oh my goodness.
This isn't the only problem we have in elementary and secondary education.
Yes, Silent Man, you get
I'll
it.
give you one other statistic. 70% of our high schools are graded A or B. 40% of the schools below that are graded A or
Just
B.
like the soda, it used to be better.
70% of my high schools in Louisiana are not A or B schools. Okay? I wish they were.
Just realizing
Not when
Charlemagne's
40% of the whole
job
grades
for
are
life
A or
should be
B.
mowing lawns.
Once again, the adults who don't want to be embarrassed
Gas all over her hands,
are
trying to get
inflating
the
those
fuel
grades, too.
inside
Now
the
they've started on the graduate
the
exit
push mower.
examination. But this is a bridge too far.
Get that fresh
All is
grass
not
and that
lost.
gas.
Bessie, which, as I said,
It's always
passed
wonderful.
this rule change by one vote. And by the way, our superintendent of
Yeah, he's
education,
made it so difficult to put
was
gas in a
against
gas mower.
this rule change is going in
We
front
need
of
a
the
hero,
Senate
Captain Have
Arkansas,
Fun.
right?
for an oversight hearing in the Senate
Yeah.
Education Committee
Is
and
this
the
guy
House
from Arkansas?
Education Committee. And I hope that either the
Gas
Senate or
station.
House,
He's
hopefully
Louisiana.
both will say
Oh.
no.
Yeah, Louisiana.
Senator
Because
Kennedy out
this
of
change
Louisiana.
represents what George Bush,
Grandpa
President
Kennedy
Bush
out of
called
Louisiana.
the soft bigotry of low expectations.
What do you want Grandpa
The
to do to
soft
you?
bigotry of low expectations.
I said he's
It's got
Grandpa
no
Kennedy
place
from
in this country,
Louisiana, you
and it's got
joker.
no place in
Oh
my
my
state.
gosh.
I'm embarrassed that people
What? We're still on
who are
YouTube, you
part of
know.
the education establishment in
Tell
Louisiana
Frog, not
are
me.
telling the rest of the world our kids are not good enough. They can't learn. So we're going to give them a diploma
Dad,
that's not really a
honey,
diploma.
what? The hell is that
Thank
supposed
you
to
for the
mean,
time
Caroline?
today, Madam
I don't
President.
know.
I
I
wanted,
don't get it.
I wanted my
Foghorn
colleagues to
Leghorn?
know what's going on in Louisiana. We're going
Like a
to turn
foghorn?
this rule
Yeah,
back.
I say.
And, we're going to put
so-
the kids first in Louisiana, not the adults. Madam President, I suggest the absence of a quorum.
The clerk will call the roll.
Ms. Baldwin.
She's like, I just went on relentlessly for the last 10, 15 minutes almost, saying absolutely nothing of valid concern to anybody that somebody else didn't already say. But I've wished to have said it, and everybody walked away from me as I was saying it. So I suggest that you call roll and get everybody back in here again, and maybe we can have the next person talk.
It's because everybody else was saying.
Everybody's saying the same thing.
He wasn't.
You don't think so? What did he say different
No.
that the other ones did?
I didn't really pay much attention to the beginning part. Wasn't about that. He was talking about the education system.
He did talk about the education system. That was a little different.
That's what
Was
I'm
there
saying.
anything else that
So
was?
I didn't go back and listen to him properly, but I don't think he was taking the same line as everyone else. I think he was trying to direct people's attention to problems.
Like, let's pay attention
On the
to our
doorstep.
own country.
Yeah. I think.
I ask unanimous consent the Senate recess from 3:30 p.m. until 5 p.m. to allow for the all
Why did
senators
they bring
briefing.
this up again?
Without
from earlier?
objection.
Now, Mr. President, the slaughter of
Oh,
over
Lisa,
1,300
it all
people
makes me
in
laugh.
Israel on October 7th
Oh.
reminds every Jewish person in the world of darker, more sinister
just
This is what
It lay-
this is
lay
what
barely-
opens the
it lay
Senate.
bare, sadly, that the ancient
This
port
is exactly
Math
what
is
was being
racist.
used to
It's
open
racist.
We must be clear
is
that Hamas does not speak
the
for
left
the
throwing
Palestinians.
racism.
Hamas is a terrorist organization dedicated
It's
to Israel's
racist.
eradication. Hamas must be defeated. And the violence of
Racism.
Calling for ultimate destruction of Hamas.
I was deeply saddened and shocked. by
We
the
have the military might in place.
at the
Go ahead, storm Gaza Strip, remove everybody that's there.
The loss of innocent life is a sickening tragedy.
Just level
Prayers
it.
are with the victims, the families,
Just
the
level it.
children, and all innocent
You can have
people.
fun with it. It's really narrow.
Now, while we await
And
He might look like that, but he doesn't sound like that, Captain. Have fun. Come on.
3-4 bombers
people should look at this. Released
and
signal intelligence confirms it appears
maybe
that terrorist
throw a recon helicopter or two through there real quick beforehand. Test it out, see what it's like. Be like, yeah, okay, let's run here. You hit these buildings, this guy hits these buildings, and by the time we get to the end,
as I have said,
lowest part, go north to south or south to north or however you want to do it. Make your way through, destroy, just flat.
Hi, Ellie. No, they didn't.
So, Ellie, did they pick a speaker yet? No.
We will include robust
No, they'd be retarded.
Yeah.
those who need it urgently.
Stupid.
Fall into the wrong hands, such as Hamas.
They all said we have to grandstand for a while before we actually get to voting.
Government, we promised to do whatever we could to help Israel defend herself.
But they're not coming back for a vote tonight. They actually walked away from the house tonight again. Now we gotta wait till tomorrow.
Was it 2 votes
for them
they
to-
did today? They didn't even do 3 votes.
The Senate will move this package as
Right,
soon as
2.
we can, without delay.
Supposedly.
It was still light outside. They could have done another vote.
Democrats want to act, and I know a lot of Republicans want to act.
They stayed till 9 p.m. and later for other stuff. I don't understand what's going on.
Express his support.
Kids
Hop
come
on
first,
for-
really fan.
This moment of
Have to
crisis
get back to schooling the kids.
House of Representatives.
Awesome. Have fun with those
Senate
kids.
step into the breach and stand firmly together to get emergency military and humanitarian
Oh, have fun with the
aid
kids, Ellie.
to Israel. In this difficult moment, the Senate must act as a steady bipartisan force. We must show that the work of the first branch of government is continuing. We will not wait for the House. We cannot. Because the
What?
need for
We're
the
not gonna wait. Yeah, you have to.
for them to get themselves out of their own morass. I hope the Senate passes a strong bipartisan package will importune the House to follow suit.
Get themselves out of their own morass.
Passing this supplemental and providing Israel the tools they need will show Israel and the world that the United States stands with our ally now and always. And I expect very soon, as early as today, maybe tomorrow morning,
And like,
the Senate will act to
what
pass a
do
resolution from
you know, senators and representatives? What do they go to school for? What do they, you know? Because you see some of them come out.
firmly with Israel.
You see people like, you know, AOC. You know, she's like, oh, she's a bartender.
Overwhelming, nearly unanimous.
Some of these people, like this guy, I bet if we looked into Chucky Schumer a little closer, I think we might be very interested in what kind of schooling he actually went into,
Will affirm
kind of education he got,
so long as there is a United States of America,
who influenced him to be so
Senate, the people of
ignorant
will not be alone. Now, the all senators
and okay with it at the same time.
This afternoon, we'll have an all senators classified briefing on Israel and Gaza. Will be briefed by the top people in the administration: Secretary of Defense Lloyd Austin, Secretary of State Tony Blinken.
So then it sounds like
Joint Chiefs General C.Q. Brown and Director of National Intelligence Avril Haines. I encourage all my colleagues on
These Trump gets everyone excited.
from our top leaders. So
You talking about Squad Bob? You were sitting right here.
Latest information on the ground regarding Israel's security and their efforts to defeat
Do you agree the state of America's culture in schools?
horrible organization.
A big reason why adults aren't having children.
Now, with all the
I know some people say this.
released, it is really important that we have ambassadors in
I don't know if
It's always important.
there's a lot to.
But now, with the conflict,
I think on how education has been taught on health classes, sex ed classes,
she did a great job.
really says a lot. Really says a lot. And then when you start mixing in the CRT stuff, whatever, you know, more recently, even all the way back to when they first started teaching it, all the way back in 1996. You know, you kind of, I missed it. I graduated in 96. Just shortly thereafter, they started implementing some of it. I noticed some of it, but I didn't realize how much really was there from my oldest. Now, my middle child, I'd like to know a little bit more on what she's actually being taught, what the school's teaching. From what she's telling me is that they're not teaching that kind of stuff in their schools. Their schools are still pretty much left to the quote unquote STEM, I guess is what it is nowadays, but the reading, writing, and arithmetic. You know, the stuff that the basics, the basics. Nowadays they call STEM the basics, I suppose. So your science, technology, English, and math.
Government would shut down in less than a month if we don't act. Today, the House will gavel in.
So things are taught just a little differently. So when I was listening to the last about the grades, and I was thinking about it then, is as he's saying A, B, C's, D's, and F or whatever. He's
helping American families.
things aren't taught the same way they ever were. They're teaching them way different. I wish they would have been teaching it this way, for when I was in school. When I was in school, it was not that way. There's one way to teach everything, and you got taught, and if you didn't pick it up, you were dumb, and you were marked as being dumb, and
You're a minority in the Republican Party. You're a minority.
you get left back if you didn't figure it out.
Certainly, your voices will be raised, and you'll want some say.
No, you can never trust the schools.
No way. Bipartisanship will be required to help Israel.
Uh-oh, my school lunch is here. I have to step away.
Your school lunch?
My lunch is here. I added school because we were talking about schools.
So whoever the House
You
elects
get
as Speaker
bologna
will not be
sandwiches.
able to
Okay.
ignore the realities of
The
divided
bologna
Congress,
sandwich,
no
yeah.
matter what the hard right demands. As former Speaker
As long as
Schumer
it does not
Schumer
have
and
mustard on
McCarthy
it.
have learned,
Fucking gross.
Oh no, mustard.
cannot let the hard right
And
I'll,
no
I'll
mayo.
catch y'all. I'll catch y'all later. I'll still be listening.
even worse. It will lead
Hi,
to
Squad.
more
Okay, bon
violence.
Thanks,
appetit.
Squad.
The
Later,
American
Squad.
people need unity and help and stability. Now,
No
at
Child
the
Left
AI
Behind
Insight
doing a lot.
Forum
Yeah,
next
dude.
Tuesday, the
Yeah,
Senate
dude.
will hold our
Oh yeah.
second series
No
of
Child
bipartisan
Left Behind
and
should have
pure
never been a thing.
bipartisan AI Insight Forums, focusing on our North Star for AI innovation. Our inaugural AI forum last month was one of the most informative and historic discussions ever held in the Congress. The debate was illuminating, the discussions were
guy,
candid, unvarnished, direct. Next week, we'll turn to
His
AI
voice
innovation,
is just so
both
annoying.
transformational innovation, the kind of innovation
The
that
voice.
creates new vistas, unlocks new
Stiff.
cures, improves education, protects our food supply and our national security. But
Chucky
also
Schumer drives me
sustainable
nuts.
which is the kinds of guardrails that are needed to prevent the negatives in AI.
Yeah, that No Child Left
Necessary to
Behind.
prevent against
That was
AI's
not a
risks
good
and
deal.
minimize the chance that this technology becomes unmanageable or worse. We're going to focus on both these types of innovation, both of which are needed.
Whoever thought that was a good deal, I thought, oh yeah, that was one of those Bushes, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Getting some of the
Fucking W,
companies that
dumbass.
do AI to sit down with some of the critics so we can
W.
begin to
Bush.
fashion the kinds of guardrails that are necessary.
That beady eyed
Our
little man
committees
himself.
continue to lead the way, having hosted more than 15 hearings on AI this year. And the
He did a lot of
bipartisan
damage.
gang is working to supplement the committee's critical work with our AI Insight.
And everybody thought that it was, when you look at it, you're like, oh, he was a Republican. No.
So these
Huh.
forums are designed to
Nah.
ensure that the Senate is asking the right
Nah.
questions, having the right debates, and getting to the heart
I
of
doubt it.
complex issues.
I doubt it.
I urge everyone to attend next week's bipartisan forum. And I thank my colleagues, Senator
Hold the
Rounds,
kid back,
Senator Heinrich,
teach them a
Senator
lesson,
Young,
and
for helping organize this
shame from your
discussion.
peers.
To repeat, our AI forum will be, trying to get the date here.
I mean,
I don't have it. I believe, well, we'll get everybody the date right away. I believe it is on the 24th of next week at 3 p.m. in the Kennedy Caucus Room. Note the absence of a quorum.
I think there should be,
The world are still reeling from the surprise attack
like he was saying, there's an exit test. There's an exit test, at the very end of the day.
31 Americans.
Or at the end of your senior year that you must take, and you have to pass with at least a D. Which I mean, who knows what they're actually testing on? It should be standard. Some of the basics that most shouldn't have a problem passing.
The importance of our
And-
national defense and military readiness. Mr. President,
The
as
being
we
left
said,
behind thing is, each grade should be given one of those tests. Each grade should be given one of those tests, because if you're not doing that,
Madam President, I rise today as a senator, as a former president of a synagogue, as the only Jewish mother in the United States Senate, as a steadfast
Is she?
supporter of Israel, and as a person who stands firmly against hate and terrorism around the world. Since October 7th, when Hamas launched horrific and unprovoked terrorist
she
attacks
ruined
on
my
Israeli
thought.
people, our hearts have been shattered. And over the past week and a half, we've learned that 1,300 innocent Israeli civilians and
No, but
soldiers
the
have
teachers,
been
sometimes it's up
murdered.
to the teacher that's
Thousands
teaching
more
you. Because,
have been injured.
my third grade
Countless
teacher
families
back
are
then
grieving
didn't
for
like
loved
me.
ones
Didn't like me.
who've
She
been
hated me. She hated
kidnapped,
anything
who at this
of
very
my
moment
existence.
are being
And
held hostage
she
by
did whatever she could
young children,
to
women,
continuously
seniors,
send
some
me
of whom even
out of the
the
room, whether it be the
Holocaust
principal's
survivors.
office or it be
This past
to somebody
weekend,
else's room
I
or
met
a
with
room
His
by
Highness of
myself
Israel as part
or
of a
whatever,
bipartisan
because
Senate
fuck, I
delegation.
couldn't sit still. I didn't want to sit still. Fuck that
Meeting with
shit.
parents whose
You
children
fucking
were
sit still.
their babies. That's how they called them.
Here,
My
colorless.
babies.
Okay,
Not
so
my
you know,
babies, the mother
give you a
said.
picture. Say here, color the balloon.
They were
So
ripped
what do?
away from them by
You color the
tyrannies.
balloon.
Hearing those stories, seeing
You
the fear and the pain in
think
their
about
eyes,
the balloon for a
feeling their
second,
heartbreak,
and you know it's
it is something
big
that
and
will stay with
round,
me for the rest
and
of my
at the
life.
bottom it has a little
And there's one story in
nipple on it or
particular
whatever
that
for
I'll
where you
never
tied it
forget.
off, where you put your string on
A
there,
woman
right?
whose
So
family
the
member was
whole
taken
balloon's
from her
there,
by
and then you say
Hamas.
color the balloon in. So then you start at the
to us,
top and you start trying
and in
to
speaking about
do
her,
like
she said,
like a circle shape,
"We
right?
no
To
longer
get it
live in the same world
to
as you.
make it look
We
like
no longer
it's
live in the same
circle shape.
For her and her family,
So
she said,
I had
every moment
lines
was
in
a
every
journey.
direction going in a circle
Think about what they
in a
feel
couple
every
different
single day. They're
colors.
separated from their loved ones, not
How
knowing
dare
what they're
you?
doing,
I was having
not
fun
knowing
with
if
it,
they're being
right?
tortured, if they're in
And
pain.
eventually it would have blended itself to actually created its own
And with each
color.
passing day, these families, they anxiously await
Using
for their loved ones.
the colors that I was using when I went to go and I put
And these stories
a
demonstrate what I wanted to
square
do
to
every
show
day in my
like
power to
shine
make
on
sure
it or
that these
whatever
families are made
in
whole
the
again.
corner
We know that
of the
Hamas is
balloon.
currently holding nearly
I put 2 lines
200
in one
innocent
color
people,
and I
including
put the other 2
Americans,
lines in another color.
many of them
So now
in
this
dire
is going to
need of
look like
medical
shit
attention.
because it's green and yellow. It's going to look like shit
Madam
when you
President,
actually get it blended in.
we cannot
So,
stay
you know,
silent.
whatever.
We
I
must
didn't
speak
care.
up until
I
every
wanted to do what I
hostage
wanted to
is
do.
released.
She
Every
got
single
so
one of them.
mad at me and told me that I
Why?
was
That's why
wrong,
last night
that
I
when you
introduced a
you
bipartisan
color in the same
resolution
direction,
condemning
and that's
Hamas
not how that works.
for its
That
brutal,
it seriously set me out the
premeditated
room,
attacks on Israel,
sends me
and
down
demanding that Hamas
to the
immediately
special
release the
ed
hostages
teacher.
so they can
So I'm
be
sitting in the
safely
special
reunited
ed
with their
teacher's
loved
room, and
ones.
she says, so this is what
After
you
what
were
I
working
saw,
on in the other room.
after what I
Hands me the piece of
experienced
paper,
on the ground,
brand new piece of
I know
paper
we
that
need to
wasn't
take
touched yet,
decisive,
and new crayons. I'm like,
and
oh, I get
immediate
to start
action
over.
to help
And
Israel.
she's like, yes, you get to start over.
Let
Because
us
she
take
tore your
action
other
to
one
free
up
the
because you did it
hostages,
wrong.
pass
I'm like, how
supplemental
did I do it
funding
wrong?
aid to our ally in this
And
greatest
she says,
time of
I don't
need,
know,
and
just do it
provide
again.
Israel with all the
Do it
support
again
it
and
needs
try
to defend
doing
itself
it
from acts of
different
terrorism.
than you did before. And I didn't. I went ahead and I tried coloring it back the same way I had it the other way on the other one. It was like, yeah, it was going to look like shit because, you know, green and yellow together look like shit. And,
Oh well.
in all these different directions or whatever, trying to make it look like it was a balloon. And
we have seen how Hamas uses Palestinian
nonetheless, I got relegated to never be able to go anywhere other than to that room, the special ed teacher's room for the rest of the school year, and then told that I had to repeat the class. I had to repeat the class, right? So, you know, kids, you know, when it comes down to it, don't fight with your third grade teachers.
How do you remember that?
I was
It must have been
8.
really
It was
traumatic to
trauma.
you.
I can imagine it was. I've got a traumatic teacher experience as well. I used to be left-handed to write with my right hand. Yeah, and my name was changed, so I went to school age 4. Being able to read, write, read to the class, do everything basically. And my surname was changed from Foster to Williams. No, not from from Williams to Foster. Okay. And because I was presented with the name in the classroom and I didn't know how to spell it, I was called C, and she berated me, and she's the same teacher that made me change hands as well. It was terrible. Yeah. Yeah.
Good
She was German. I don't know if that's anything to do with it.
Well, I was already screwed before I even went to kindergarten because I had 4 siblings
so was
ahead
I.
of me. My 4 siblings ruined all the teachers for me. They're like, "Oh, you're one of those."
In
And I'm
that
like,
way.
"Oh, damn it! No, not that." Are you going to be like your brothers or your sisters?
Nuh-uh.
So
I'm a good girl.
Be me. I'm going to be me.
as we speak about these teachers that treat us like shit as kids, this seriously, I was treated like shit by this lady. This lady did not like me in any way, shape, or form. So
That's weird.
years later, as I'm the manager of the Radio Shack, she just so happened to come in my store. She didn't recognize me. She didn't recognize me. And she was looking for a recording device. So I went ahead and I'm like, well, this and this, and I kind of explain out how these recording devices work. And I sell her the one. She's like, okay, this should work. And she goes to use it, comes back like an hour later and says, okay, so that didn't work. Can you help me? I'm like, yeah, sure. What's going on? And she's like, I went to use it and it didn't record like I wanted it to. So I kind of looked at it and I pushed a couple buttons on it and I said, okay, so it works this way. And I pushed the button. I said, so we talk and we say what we want to say. And then we hit the stop button and we go back and we hit the play button. She's like, oh, it just recorded what you just said. I'm like, yeah, it did. She's like, oh, okay. Okay, so that was pretty simple. Can you show me that again? So I showed her again and she, okay, I think I got that. And because she pushed the buttons herself, I think I can do that. Well, she goes and she leaves. She comes back an hour later and she's like, hey, I want to thank you so very much for helping me. It worked the way I needed it to work, and I really do appreciate it. And she throws me a $20 bill. And I'm like, oh, thanks. That's I would really appreciate that, whatever. And I kind of like you don't recognize me, do you? And she says no. And I gave her my real name, obviously, and her mouth. Seriously, she dropped. She freaking hit that countertop. She's like, oh, thank you so much for being so nice. I'm like, yeah, some of us can still be nice to people that were mean to them in their past. And she did the look at her face and she says, I'm sorry I ever did anything bad. I'm like, yeah, well, I lived through it and I'm doing just fine. And she's like, oh, what do you mean you're doing? I'm like, I'm the manager. Thank you for coming into my store. Please be sure to come back and tell all your friends that, we have great customer service or whatever, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, this data will be able to see gaps. I will.
How funny.
Damn right, you freaking wretched bitch. She was so mean.
Yeah, but she was still teaching. You may have changed her.
We've seen this model, Mr. President.
You may have changed her view on kids alone. Just
Me?
Sure.
Yeah.
You betcha.
Go frog with the diplomacy.
See how you still take that as a great person, regardless of how she managed to treat you and made you feel.
They always do.
I mean,
in spite of all that, you still managed to turn whatever situation into being a wonderful young man that she didn't even know it was you.
I'm not going to help.
I remember that year so vividly because it was just that. It was very traumatic and how I was treated by that particular teacher.
The colloquial name of this committee is the Senate Housing and Banking Committee.
Cake, I was always in trouble because of fighting.
To build more homes, to make them more affordable.
Not me. No, not me.
I had
I
bad,
wish I'd
bad
been.
temper as
I
a
wish
child.
I'd bitten flipping Miss Homburg. Weird woman.
I didn't really grow up really quick. I didn't really care. So then that particular teacher, I remember there was a couple different instances that added up together. I know it wasn't just one thing. At one point in time, because my last name began at the beginning of the alphabet, so we all sat in alphabetical order by our last name. So I remember, a couple different times where we're supposed to sit there and we could have a snack. We could have a snack and we could watch the movie. Well, she had a problem with me because I apparently couldn't chew on a chip quietly. I was too loud, and I needed to not have certain snacks and whatever else. So she'd take my snacks from me. She was just rude. She was so mean.
Oh my god.
So because I was because I just sat through this class and now I'm hungry, and I'm now super hungry and I'm waiting for lunch to happen. So right after we get done watching this movie, I'm sitting there. She's get up, get ready to go to to lunch right as the bell goes. That's what everybody always did. Everybody's jumped out of their desks, get ready to go because they're no longer under her tutelage. For the moment, they're all free to roam the hallways and do as they wish to get to lunch. There's no ordered, filed lines, straight lines, none of that. No. Yeah, everybody just ran down the hallways and did as they wished. That bell ring. I'm up out of that seat at that door. First one in line. She grabs me by the back of my collar and pulls me back just a little bit to stand in front of me, right? And she'd done this several other times, so that didn't bother me. What bothered me was because she just got done yelling at me for something that I didn't do right, whatever. And I'm the first one in line, or because she was yelling at me for crunching. And I'm now the first one in line ready to go to lunch. She goes ahead and instead of just leaving me there, she pushes me by my forehead backwards until I fell backwards and bumped my head. And by the time she pushed me back and I bumped back my head, well, I'm no longer in a good mood. I'm now very agitated because she just pushed me and I hurt myself because she pushed me until I bumped the back of my head. I jumped up, as most kids would, I guess. Maybe not. I guess not. Maybe most kids. Maybe it's just me. But I jumped up and I jumped on her. I jumped on her back and I grabbed her around, her neck and tried pulling her down because WWE wrestling was a big thing in my house.
Oh god. Oh wow. That was very cool. Well done, young man.
Poor Tadpole. What's wrong with Tadpole?
Well,
yeah, right, Charlemagne.
Small business is a company with $5 million.
I was just.
It is what it is.
This lady was wretched. She was very mean.
Yeah, cool for amphibious.
But the second and most egregious thing
Oh
It's
gosh.
funny, I don't really remember many of my teachers.
our 13 pieces of information that we asked for by Congress, and they
Maybe
have
some
expanded
people
it to
just do.
81.
I remember my Kansas teachers because there's many of them. I went in there and be like, excuse me, what's going on? Why is my kid coming home crying? Why do I have to kick your ass? Mrs. Turnbull, that isn't exactly how it happened. Then tell me the truth. And it usually turned out that I had egg on my face.
Well, I had a teacher walk out of a meeting because they didn't appreciate me coming to pull them up on their actions with my daughter.
Well, geez, my kid was getting bullied horribly in school. So I'm like, no, not bullying my child.
So yes,
Great.
I'm looking
was a new
forward
teacher.
to 8-year-old Tadpole. I'm so looking forward to 8-year-old Tadpole because
I'm
he
sure
really
you are.
seriously, and a lot of the stuff that he does reminds me of me. So he really seriously does.
Poor Lady
Really.
Frog.
Yeah. Oh no.
I love your wife. She's so lovely.
She's awesome.
Picturing
I just want to give
Picturing
squeeze her and hug her.
Bullfrog in a full beard doing this as a child. Squad
Oh,
Bob.
you're funny. No. 8-year-old with a full beard.
I didn't say it started with an A. I said it started at the beginning of the alphabet.
Mm-hmm.
The bank has to ask that small business person if that small
But
business
that's an awesome guess. But you're wrong. Wrong. You're just wrong. It happens to be.
is transgender.
Yeah.
Oh.
CFPB has to ask that small business person
So what are they gonna?
applying for a loan.
They can't do anything.
Yeah, I don't know.
Lisa, like a spider monkey.
Stop listening to that fool.
Yeah, spider monkey. Spider monkey frog.
Spider monkey.
Spider monkey.
Jumping on your teacher's back.
I'm trying to take her down. Spider monkey
Well,
style.
I mean, you don't do things
Say
to
yes.
kids. You don't push them around like
No,
that.
you
think
don't.
that you can do that to kids. Kids are gonna fight back eventually.
Yeah. Especially if they have nasty tempers.
Bitch, I'm gonna take you out.
I did. Oh no. Your oldest got seriously injured by a bully multiple times. I kept calling on my last phone call. I told him I would take the school to court. The bullying stopped real quick. Good. Good for you.
Imagine that.
Yeah,
Go
I had a
figure.
Well
kid
done, though.
flip my oldest child and twisted her arm to where he like gave her fractures in her arm. So I'm like, kid, I hope your parents have a good insurance because we're going to sue them. Oh my god! Yeah, but nothing came of it because, of course, it was Missouri.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, redonkulous.
They are, but they don't really seem to. I don't think they understand what responsibility actually means anymore.
Right.
Or if they ever did, to be fair.
Yeah.
It's like somewhere along the line, the Hippocratic Oath became the Hypocritic Oath, you know.
Right. Yeah. What happened to that?
They play too much.
Crazy.
Nothing.
Just more Jada
What?
Pinkett stuff, probably.
It's so irritating. How's
There's no news.
that's going to be a problem. That's going to be a problem because
It's on hiatus, yeah.
it was right because everything's stalled the way it is.
So,
Drives me nuts.
so there's Spears and Jada Pinkett Smith. If you got in, you know, if you got nothing else to do. Yeah, that poor man. She declared jihad on him.
Lisa. That cracks me up. I had read on Facebook groups, bully kids stealing a kid's lunch. The group said, put lax in the lunch. You know, my mother was, I've told this story before, but my mother was very angry at a preacher one time. So she made chocolate chip cookies with X-Lax. All for him. And told his kids, don't touch them.
Yeah, so we used to have a problem with the milk getting stolen from outside the house. So one night, my stepdad decided, okay, let me mix some fertilizer because it looks milky, yeah, in a milk bottle, put that outside. That disappeared. And guess what? They stopped stealing the milk. Imagine that. Just
Ooh, nice.
yeah.
This isn't milk. What is this?
You gonna kill me? Oh my God.
Yeah, I was probably flagged myself, Buffer, at some of those schools. As I got into high school, they didn't have as much problems. Well, not as much.
That's
my
where we had
youngest one.
problem.
My youngest one did, and the principal didn't like me. Oh well.
I had to make an appointment to see the principal, the head teacher at my son's. He was what, 10 when this happened. He climbed over the gate, and they were willing to let it slide. And I'm like, excuse me, we need to address this. He climbed over the school gate and came home.
Oh man. How old was he?
And they didn't want to see 10 years old.
Oh geez.
And they didn't want to see me. I wanted to see them. Because he's such a good child, and oh no, we don't understand what happened. I said, okay, then we'll come and talk about it, shall we? Because this is what my child's told me so far. What are you doing about it? Oh gosh, I'm just, yeah.
Squad Bob says the first two people I ever known in my life were both been preachers. And that's something.
Yeah, imagine they're not saints. Get it? Oh, it's a joke.
Oh, I customized the wrong one. Damn. You put us like that.
Okay, if you insist.
Just the three of us sitting right dead center.
Whoop whoop.
Well, almost. I think it's a bit off center.
Just a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Just a bit. Let's see
I
if
think
we
you
can't.
need to add another square to centralize it. Or just move it over.
It's too.
I'm
I
just
like
waiting
how
for food
much
to
fun you
arrive.
can actually have with with the layers. There you go. Center.
Yep, that's better.
Oh, there you go. Much better.
Oh, mm-hmm.
Anyway, I guess we can call it a day. That's
interesting, Squab.
Appreciate everybody joining me. What's that? The first two people that were ever known in his life were both preachers.
Yeah.
Yep. I'd say some of the worst people I've known have come from church or the church community.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Definitely. But anywho.
Squab turned out pretty well, though. You know.
We love Squab.
Yeah.
Uncle
Yeah,
Squab.
Squab's great.
Uncle Squab's the best.
Uncle Squab.
Anybody that doesn't know who Squab Bob is, if you haven't had the chance, you should check out Squab Bob. He's a pretty cool dude. And he's I don't know, he's never done me wrong. Anything that you'd like to say before we sneak out of here for the day? Either one of
Thank
you.
you for coming, guys. Love you.
Yeah, thank you. And don't forget to come check out the stream on Friday when it's open mic.
Open mic on Rumble.
There should be some interesting people potentially joining us. Yes, on Rumble for that. I'm not quite sure. I'm gonna hopefully I hear here soon from Meme if we're doing the local stream today. I haven't heard from him yet. If not, I'll be back tonight for Stick with Cool Frog. What day is it? Oh, and then Saturday I have MG Law with me on locals. On locals. I don't know. Eventually, one of these days, myself and Beautiful will have something potentially supposed to read. Some Durham report together.
Oh, yes. Soon. I'll be back soon.
I picked a day, didn't work. Tried the next, didn't work. We'll see. Maybe sometime soon we'll try doing something.
Yeah.
We'll see. No promises. We'll do what we can.
I'll promise I'll do it, but I don't know when.
No, right. That's what I'm saying.
All good.
Yeah.
Sometimes see you.
I can't wait to read to you all.
You as well, Cake. You have a good one. I'm jumping over to Discord. I don't know about these two. I'll probably jump over there. Do a couple of these few other things. I'll probably, might be up and down for a few minutes and
love you,
get
Papa.
ready for tonight.
I've got a few things to do. I might jump on for a minute.
See you soon, squad.
All right.
Okay.
Love y'all. Later.
Bye.
Later, guys.
We're winning all the competitions because all the women in my family are smarter than I am.
I don't want to live on this planet anymore.